some interference with that. Maybe the environment in this area not as conducive. I want to bring in meteorologist Joel Young, who is in studio now. Joel, welcome. Yeah. Happy Easter. What do you got?
Well, I was watching the storm on the southern end. Todd, you pointed out that the storm on the south side down here into western Hot Spring County appears to be the strongest at the moment. And I wanted to get a storm track on that as it lifts north and east out of Hot Spring County, eventually over into Garland County. So this is going to be moving toward Lofton, 502. Hip Wallace around 506, Lake Hamilton 512, Hot Springs. This is moving your way at around 518. I know we mentioned earlier that the storm coming out of Glenwood was heading toward Hot Springs. That one ended up affecting more of the Mountain Pine area before weakening some. This one is in western Hot Spring County, tracking northeast, and it's on the south side. 515 to 520. Diamond Head 523, Fountain Lake 526, Mountain Cove at around 531, and Whittington at 535. So again, that's at the moment our strongest area of rotation. I will go a little farther north, show you where the rotation is near Hot Springs Village or south and west of Hot Springs Village. That's not nearly as strong as it was earlier back when it was approaching Mountain Pine. But I do want to get a quick track on that as it moves toward the northeast, toward the Hot Springs Village. It might try to ramp up again. That would affect the Blue Springs area, 5 o'clock. Hot Springs Village, 503. You need to be in the lowest floor away from windows. You need to be in a room that's surrounded by other rooms in a site-built home, not a mobile home. Reform, 520. Perrin, 524. Williams Junction at 529. And going to that northernmost storm, Todd, the one that looked to be, I guess, our second strongest storm right now, which looks like that tornado warning there. It goes until... looks like it's moving northeast about 45 miles per hour. We'll get a track on that heading toward the Perryville area. So DeBerry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, at 458, Applin 502, Ragsdale 505, Cherry Hill at 509, Perryville around 514, and then Perry, Opelo, and Morrilton shortly thereafter. Todd.
All right, we have another circulation to watch. Joel, this one northeast of Hector. This is in northeastern Pope County moving into Van Buren County. Highway 65 at Clinton. There is some rotation, no tornado warning on that right now. If there's anything, I think high winds would be with that one. So that's the big threat, high winds and tornadoes. Hail, not so much. So that tornado warning here, we'll see if they continue that, but I think that we're going to have to deal with probably one tornado warning at least very soon, because that one near Mountain Pine heading up towards Hot Springs Village has lost a lot of its characteristics on radar. That doesn't mean that the tornado is over. Just this is solely based on what I see on radar. That's why we have chasers, to help us understand what's going on. You can look at radar all day long, but nothing will ever replace cameras and chasers, spotters. This one in far western Hot Spring County will be moving up. To me, in our opinion, this is the strongest circulation of all of them in the state. And it's a tornado warning. It's not as vivid and strong as it was, but I think Bismarck, you've got high winds. This is coming into town on the northwest side of town, and it'll be crossing over these highways, 84 and 347, and over Highway 7 coming up out of Beaton. I'm sorry, Highway 7 coming up out of Bismarck and near Beaton. It's going to be northwest of those areas. And I think it goes north of Bismarck by just a few miles. But Bismarck could have high winds with this, and that could easily knock down trees. If you're in front of these storms, as is much of central Arkansas, from Donaldson to Malvern to Benton to Bryant, Alexander, Little Rock to Conway, what should you be doing right now? Well, you should be getting ready. You should be charging your electronic devices. You should be telling your friends and your neighbors, don't go anywhere, stay put, or find a place that you may take shelter in within the next couple of hours. The tornado threat continuing further towards the east lessens. Doesn't go away, but in time, the further in time we go towards 6 o'clock, the more and further east these storms go, it will go away from an environment that's conducive to tornadoes. It doesn't go away completely, but it does decrease. If that's any comfort to you, because there's so many of you, including myself, getting storm anxiety. And I want everybody in central Arkansas to know that when these storms move into our environment here, it's not as conducive as the environment out here. but it's still potentially tornadic. And that's why we're going to stay here with you. 3 tornado warnings continue. The one on the north will go up and down this line. Perry County, it's still there. They may continue that tornado warning storm, and that's what you see here with Jesse Hayes on that coming up on Applin. Quesa's another community there. It's going to be crossing over Highway 60, but it doesn't look as strong as it was, and there's the chance that a new warning doesn't get issued, but that decision obviously has not been made just yet. All right, this one coming up on Hot Springs Village, by far today was the worst that we've had up to this point because it had a confirmed tornado on it. It had a debris signature on it as it came towards Mountain Pine. We're working with our news department here to find out about any sort of damage in that location. And also the one coming up in Hot Springs and Amity, that's the third one. That too seems not as strong, but that's the strongest by far. Now there's the new tornado warning that they just cut back the far western edge of that, and they just reconfigured it along Highway 84. So it's been, they're redefining exactly where these are, and what they do is when it passes a certain point, they'll chop off that back part of the polygon and end the warning on the backside after it passes by. Also, the tornado warning for Perry County is gone, and the tornado warning for central, well, new tornado warning just got issued. This one up here. Okay, so they issued it north, and that's going to include, that's the one Jesse's on. So let's work on getting Jesse. This one may be strengthening now. Coming up on Cherry Hill, Perryville. Debris signature with that? Nope. Radar. There's inflow right into there. You see that? A little notch. Applin. There's a new tornado warning issued, and now they just issued another tornado warning, and it's they reissued it for Hot Springs Village, all right, and northern Saline County. So they went ahead and reissued. It's on Highway 7, crossing over Highway 7 and Hot Springs Village. So Hot Springs Village, stay sheltered. Don't get out of your shelter yet. Have your TVs turned up. Take your mobile device with you. Can we get Jesse on the phone by any chance? If not, I can. But if we can, that'd be great. So Jesse's up here on that northern storm. That's where he is. That's a might be Harris Break Lake. I'm not quite sure. That's the only lake I know. That Crappie Lake over there towards Perryville. Hot Springs Village, just look at this. It's kind of hidden by the Highway 7 logo, so I want to zoom in on that. Okay, so there it is. There's Blue Springs, DeSoto Boulevard. There's Fresno Road and Hot Springs Village, Barcelona Road. Everybody in the village knows these locations. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now that I remember that tornado we had last year that moved through Hot Springs Village. In my opinion, based on radar, it's not to that level, but it doesn't need to be to that level to cause problems. Meteorologist Joel Young has new information. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, I wanted to get a quick storm track on this new tornado warning that is issued for northern Perry County as well as southern Conway County. So this is right around the Applin area right now, approaching Applin at 5:03. So within the next minute or so, again, if you live in this polygon here, which includes Applin, Perryville as well there, really most of Perry County as well as southern Conway County. You need to be in the lowest floor away from windows and cover up there until you're given the all clear. Applin, Cherry Hill at 5:09, Perryville at 5:15, Perry at 5:18, Opelo 5:23, Morrilton at 5:28, and Plummerville at 5:35. So that rotation again there near Applin, and that is at the moment, well, I'll have to look at the other rotations to see if it's still the strongest, but right now that is the newest warning that we have, and it is near Applin and DeBerry as well as Ragsdale, moving northeast through the Cherry Hill Loop area, Cherry Hill area, County Road 29, County Road 168, heading in that general direction. Looking at the storm near Hot Springs Village, that appears to maybe have strengthened a little bit. Kind of hard to tell. Might be trying to cycle there. Does look like it's had a little bit of an uptick there as it kind of moves over into northern Saline County. So we'll put a quick track on that as well. Near Reform at 5:23, Perrin 5:28, Williams Junction 5:32, Thornburg at 5:35. So that is the one that weakened earlier and has kind of picked up a little bit more. That storm down in Hot Spring County has kind of weakened a little bit more, so that's good news. Also want to address the storm that's come out of Pope County and moving into Van Buren County. I've checked with the National Weather Service. At the moment, they don't have plans of issuing a tornado warning, but unless that may have changed in the last few minutes since I've talked to them, but that has That is at least some very strong damaging wind coming up out of Pope County through the Archer area, I believe that is, or Archie Valley. Moving up toward the Botkenberg area. So this is moving through northwestern Van Buren County. This is a strong storm there, capable of producing at least damaging wind. And if that rotation tries to tighten, may prompt a tornado warning. So we're going to continue to keep a close watch on those. But at the moment, we've got these three tornado warnings there for Perry, Conway County, Saline, and Garland County, as well as Hot Spring and Garland County. Todd?
So let's go to meteorologist. Sorry, Jesse. I know you're practically one. Tell us where you are. You're in that tornado warning storm, and you're froze up just a little bit in your box. But go ahead. Where are you? What do you have?
I'm going to get that camera back up and going, Todd. I was just sitting kind of on the bank of Harris Break Lake here. I'm headed back into Perryville proper now, trying to get on this area of rotation. So I should have stream back up and a good look at this here in just a moment for you.
All right. So we got the stream now. We got you on the phone. You're frozen up. So what do you see any lowering off in that distance to the southwest?
No, just barely see a little bit of definition to the lowering, Todd. It's coming kind of over the mountain range just south of town here. So I'm hoping to have a little better look at it here in a minute when I can get turned around. I'm actually headed back north now. I'm going to get spun around and get the stream on it so you can get a good look at it here in just a second.
All right. We'll call you back. Thank you very much, Jesse. All right. So that's what he's not in that position just yet, but there's a tornado warning on that just to the southwest and southeast of Appleton, moving towards the northeast at about 40 to 50 miles per hour, which would put it in Perryville. Take your tornado precautions right now, and that's going to include Morrilton in southern Conway County very soon. Down the line, the next storm. By the way, just to let y'all know, Scott, if we work on getting him on the phone at some point, because he's coming down through Bigelow. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Hot Springs Village, Reform, Perrin. Take your tornado precautions along Highway 9. So this storm goes into northern Saline County and will come up north of Ferndale in western Pulaski County and could affect areas near Lake Maumelle on the west side of Lake Maumelle as it comes up out of Hot Springs Village. Also getting reports of power outages around Jesseville. So a lot of power outages around Jesseville, but if there isn't a tornado with that, there's definitely high winds. This storm coming up now has strong rotation to it. It's in a very small area, but there's still significant rotation. This is in a similar path to the EF2 tornado that we had last year. I can't remember what month that was in. Was that May? I can't remember. But it was in close to this time of the year, if not within a month, that EF2 tornado that affected the southern part of Hot Springs and Lake Hamilton. There's Lofton Road, South Harris Road. There's a possible tornado. I tell you, the circulation is not as strong as it was last year, but it's there in almost that same area. Tropical Road, Petty View Road, those are some of the locations. Debris signature with that one. I don't see anything with that that's conclusive, but there is that coming up along Highway 70 right here, boy, Highway 70. There was one that paralleled to the north of Highway 70, and now this one, there's 192. There's Lofton, there's South Harris Road. I think that's a potential tornado moving towards the northeast, and will cross over Highway 70 as it gets closer to Hot Springs, between Hot Springs and Lake Hamilton, near North Shore and Albright Roads. Take your tornado precautions near Petty View as well. Moore Road, there are a lot of subdivisions in that area and a lot of people out and about on this Easter Sunday. So there's a potential tornado with that thunderstorm, and there's a new update showing no significant decrease in that tornado potential. The other ones, I think by far the most intense is now transferred to the north and coming up on Perryville. We'll check debris. Nothing right now in the debris signature that stands out. Crossing over Highway 60. There's Appleton. There's Highway 60. This, by the way, is up in Marshall. We're getting severe thunderstorms up there in north central Arkansas from our friend Blaze Thomas. Just southeast of Appleton, potential tornado moving towards the northeast, Highway 60, Perryville. If you're watching us from Perryville, and especially west of Perryville, stay sheltered. Put as many walls between you and the outside, and stay away from windows. It's that simple. All tornadoes are survivable. Every single tornado is if you just do the right thing. So we have Jesse Hayes. He said it was on Harris Break Lake. That's what we see there on the right, out there near Perryville. By the way, that's what he's looking at. So Perryville over there, Harris Break Lake, and he's looking back towards Cherry Hill Loop. and there it is off towards the west. So that's the storm that he's on that you see in that middle box. And then this is over here in the bypass, Hot Springs. And Christopher, this is the one that we'll be seeing coming up out of the Hot Spring County?
Yes,
Western
yes,
Hot
this
Spring
would be
County?
that one coming from Hot Springs. I'm going to try to get another one.
Okay.
And Todd, I do want to say too, looking at the, oh, let's see. Okay, I'll get another sky camera closer to that one over towards Perryville as well.
Okay. And we'll work on getting Jesse on the phone. And don't forget Scott, too.
Gotcha.
Is there. All right. Joel, do you have any new information?
I'm just looking at these, and I will say maybe that storm up in Perry County, I'm just watching to see how it evolves, and maybe it's not as tight as it was, but still at least producing some strong, perhaps rear flank downdraft wind there in that same area. There's some pretty strong wind that'll at least be passing through there if there's not a tornado. But let's treat this like it's a tornado there in Perry County, just in case. Be in the lowest floor of your home, away from windows. You don't want to be in a mobile home. You want to be in a site-built home away from windows. So again, that's in central Perry County, and that is a tornado warning that goes for northern Perry County, including the city of Perryville, until 5:45. If you know anyone who's traveling down I-40, and they're in the Conway area perhaps, maybe don't go west of Conway right now on I-40, because that area of rotation will eventually work its way northeastward toward Morrilton, toward areas there in southeastern Conway County, sort of between Menifee and Morrilton eventually, if this were to hold together. Again, looking at the velocity on this, maybe it's weakened just a little bit. Let's still treat it, though, as a possible tornado there to the west, southwest of Perryville, generally along Highway 60 there, near Applin and Ragsdale, really right around the Cherry Hill area. You can see that there's rotation, but it's not as tight. It's not as concentrated in a single location. So perhaps some damaging wind with that. Hopefully not a tornado, but let's treat it as such right now. I will say, just as that one may have weakened a little bit, this one near Hot Springs Village appears to have strengthened. And Todd, we now have a bounded weak echo region here, very clearly defined hook echo on the reflectivity mode. And when we switch it over to velocity, you can see that is tightened up just a little bit as it crosses out of Garland County into Saline County. So here's Hot Springs Village, here's the Saline-Garland County line, and that rotation right there is tightened up just a little bit more. So there's a new tornado warning. That is a new tornado warning. Is that the one for Hot Springs?
I'm getting there. Yep. Hot
right,
Springs is under a new tornado warning.
That is a new tornado warning there for the city of Hot Springs until 6 p.m.
So let me Joel, what was happening? Stay on Joel. Stay on Joel.
Sure.
What was happening is that was on the north side of the polygon, and so they kind of reconfigured a new polygon to adjust for that circulation coming out of Hot Spring County. Go ahead.
Let me get a new track on that. That is a tornado warning there until 6 p.m. for Garland County, including the city of Hot Springs. It is a possible rotation or possible tornado south and west, or just south and west of Hot Springs, west of Lake Hamilton. I'm going to get a track on that, moving at about 35 miles per hour here. If you'll bear with me, we'll get that track on here, and that would likely take it through the Hot Springs area. Rockwell at 5:16, Hot Springs at around 5:24. So don't wait until 5:24 to take shelter. That's when it would be on you. You want to be in your shelter now. Lowest floor, away from windows, a site-built home, a room that is surrounded by other rooms. You want to get down in a closet, a hallway, maybe a bathroom, as long as there are no windows and it's surrounded by other rooms. Maybe get down, cover up with blankets, a pillow, maybe put on a helmet to cover yourself from any flying debris as that rotation approaches Hot Springs. Looking at how it's evolved, it has, let's see, I'm looking to see if it's strengthened, if it's weakened. It's still kind of holding on to its intensity there, but it's kind of moving up Highway 70. So this is going to be moving into the southwest side of Hot Springs. So Hot Springs, this is coming really close to you. It's going to basically move right over Hot Springs. If there's a tornado with it, it is southwest of town and it's moving in now. But right now, at the moment, I don't see a tornado on the ground with it. It doesn't look incredibly tight. Yes, Todd.
Scott, stream is up. He's on Highway 60. And Christopher, I hate to put so much work on you right now,
no,
but
you're good.
There's pictures of what looks like a lowering or a wall cloud near Jesseville earlier. And I did see pictures earlier on that southern storm. There is a wall cloud on that. That's not a shocking development whatsoever. Just to let you know, it's coming up on Hot Springs. This one, you know, that last one that went up through Mountain Pine looked like it was going to miss Hot Springs, and it did, and it may have hit Mountain Pine. This one is coming up into Hot Springs. So that one is coming up into your area, and we have a couple storm chasers in that. We have Scott Hollinger and we have Jesse Hayes, and that's what you see over here. I think this is Jesse in the middle box here. That is Jesse, all right, and that's in Perryville. Or near Perryville with that northern storm. We'll check in with him, and he's watching the circulation. So that's what you can see in the middle box. Hot Springs, stay sheltered, but if there's a tornado with this is where it is. It's paralleling Highway 70. It's still vigorous. It's still very much there. South Moore Road, there's Rock Creek Road, and then there's Pittman Road, I believe, right there. So Marion Anderson Road, Walkway Drive, and Rockwell along Highway 70. If there's a tornado, that's the area, and we just got a new scan, and it's further along as you would expect, and it's right on Highway 70. I mean, it is right on Highway 70. And right here, gosh, I'm trying to get my bearings here. So that's 88, you got 270. It's coming into the west side of Hot Springs. So right there where the bypass meets 270, I think it's going to get close to that area. I believe the airport's out that direction too. So that it's not as defined as it was, but definitely there. I don't see conclusive evidence of debris, but on velocities, definitely standing out, moving up towards the north. So this is Lake Hamilton here. It's now just to the north of that path of the EF2 from last year. Going just to the north of that as he's moved more towards the north of northeast like they were last year. But that, again, Hot Springs, they'll be coming into the west side of Hot Springs and potentially even into downtown Hot Springs. So all those businesses need to take their shelter down, those bathhouses. Go ahead.
Top of the iDrive camera, this is actually looking right at that storm. I'm not sure if we could see a lowering there because those trees are
Well, look what Jesse's got down here.
Oh yeah,
that's the Perryville one too. Can we take that full?
This is actually Scott right there. That's Scott Hollinger on the bottom.
Okay, that's Scott. Where's Scott?
Scott is located. Let's see.
Let me get out of the way. So you're looking live. I'll call Scott.
Yeah.
Call Scott Hollinger.
So we got 3 areas now. So this, yeah, one over there towards Scott's live stream, and then the RDOT camera on the top.
Okay, we'll find out exactly what's going on here.
This Scott.
Scott, you're on the air. It's Todd. We got your live stream up. What do you got there? We see the 2 low-hanging appendages. Where are you? Is that rotating?
Todd, it's not really rotating right now. Not like it was earlier. It's kind of.
Where exactly is it?
I'm in downtown Perryville right now, and it's directly over Perryville right now.
Can you pan to the right just a little bit?
Pan to the right.
Just a little bit to get that more center screen.
Right there.
Okay.
Right there, Bodie. Yeah, that is literally downtown Perryville, where Highway 60 and Highway 9 meet. It's literally coming directly over us here.
Okay, but you don't see it rotating at all, do you? That's perfect right there.
No, nothing imminent, Todd. It's not rotating hard like it would need to produce a tornado right now. I'm not sure.
Okay, we're going to keep your feed up live, but it does not, on our end as well, does not look like it's spinning. But that's definitely the wall cloud.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's what we're seeing right now. But it is rotating, but not very fast, Todd.
Okay. Thank you so much, Scott. And please stay on that storm. We're going to keep your feed live, and we'll come back to you. And just text me if you see something start to spin. Okay?
I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. All right, so that's what you see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Now, Christopher, this storm coming up into Hot Springs, that's what we're looking at over here?
Yes,
all right?
That is there
that's
on...
Jesse, too, on the Perryville storm. Let's take this one full and tell us where we're looking and exactly what on that storm coming into Hot Springs. Go ahead, Christopher.
So this one is looking towards the eastbound, but it is right there on the Hot Springs bypass on exit 2. And a short time ago, might have seen maybe a wall cloud trying to form in that area there, but this is looking right into that storm, into that area. If you look off where that signage is, just to the top of that yellow arrow and above the tree line, that's where that rotation would be. Todd?
Thank you very much. Keep your eye on that. Let's go back to radar. So again, we had there the wall cloud, and it did not look like it was spinning violently, at least. There was some rotation with that, but it didn't look like it was about to put down a tornado at the time that we were talking to Scott. Now, Joel?
Yes.
I've been kind of out of pocket analyzing all these storms. We have 3 tornado warnings.
Yeah.
The one that looks the worst, I'm going to leave it up to you to do a little radar analysis.
Looking at these, just comparing them all, I think they've all kind of, they're not necessarily looking incredibly tight rotation, so that's good news. But the one in Hot Springs, if it were to strengthen right now, it's right on top of Hot Springs. So it's in a really tough spot there. Again, looking closer, it's kind of broad, but at least you've got some really strong winds moving into the southwest side of Hot Springs. So Hot Springs, you need to be in the lowest floor of your site-built home right now. You need to have taken your tornado precautions already, but let's make sure you're there at the moment. Again, that rotation right now out on the west side of Hot Springs, Weston Road kind of moving up. I believe that's Albert Pike there, up Highway 70, moving in. It'll basically take it right over the national park there and basically right over downtown Hot Springs. Now, right now, I don't have evidence that there's a tornado on the ground, but at least you have really strong wind. And if it does drop a tornado in the next few minutes, it would be within Hot Springs proper. So Hot Springs, make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. Make sure you're treating it as if it is a tornado right now. And hopefully it isn't, but we won't know until it's already on the ground. So let's treat it as such. Up into northern Saline County, that storm at one point looked like it was strengthening as it crossed over into Saline County. It's a little bit more broad, but still has some strong damaging wind potential there on the north side of northern Saline County near Reform. And then that rotation up near Perryville, that appears to have kind of fanned out into more damaging wind at the moment. So that's good news there. So the two strongest is the one in Saline County and the one right on top of Hot Springs right now, Todd.
Okay, yeah, look at it, the one in northern Saline County. Look at the presentation on radar.
It's wrapped.
It is really wrapped. All right, so in this top box here, Christopher has just pointed out to me, this is, of course, going into Hot Springs there on 270, and you got Magic Springs on the right. You turn there and you go into town. Can we take that full? And you'll see in the upper left that he said that was rotating. That's what's coming in on the west side of Hot Springs. You look at the top left corner of your screen, and the wall cloud was over here, and he said it was rotating. So you're starting to see that coming into Hot Springs right now. So you don't want to be on these roads. Gosh, nobody should be on the roads right now in Hot Springs. So that's what we're looking at. Very tough to see because of the tree line. It's almost impossible to tell, but there's the lowering right there. Let's go back over to the radar, and on Max 1, that's what we're looking at from that camera over here, looking back towards the west near Meadows Street. That's where that potential tornado, definite lowering. We've had so many reportings of wall clouds, and of course the one that we just carried live here up there in Perry County. This one now seems to be ramping up significantly coming into Perrin. Let me just look. Yeah, it's tightening up significantly west of Perrin in northern Saline County. I know there are some people there in that road network, County Road 24,000, Mount Ida Road, that's in Saline County, as you said, Reform. Joel was just mentioning that. I think that has gotten a little bit stronger, and I don't see debris yet. Let's hope that stays that way. But there is a large amount of rotation and a very well-defined, you see that hook and the kidney bean shape right here. I mean, that is classic supercellular thunderstorm right there, and it is spinning with strong velocities, and I'm afraid that it could start. I don't want to get a loop. I'm going to start a loop over the past 30 minutes, and that may be too long. Is this, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm afraid, what I'm worried about is if it takes a right turn, takes more of a right turn, which would put it more into northeastern areas of Saline County and western Pulaski County. But go ahead, Joel's going to track that. Go ahead, Joel.
So I've got this tracking to the northeast, basically due northeast, or maybe a little bit more east-northeast, just in case it does take that right track like Todd was just mentioning. So Perrin, just in the next few minutes, I would be in that safe place right now, northern Saline County. The area of Y there at 543, Ledwidge at 549. So we're getting this into parts of western Pulaski County eventually. That has tightened up a little bit more, Todd. Maumelle, 557. Conway, 604. This may stay south of Conway there. Hopefully so, but we hope this doesn't drop at all. But still, Cato, 609. Gravel Ridge, 613. Valonia, Chattanooga. That would be headed your general direction as well at 6:18. So this is a path that we're not unfamiliar with, obviously, with tornadoes. So we're going to watch this one very closely. Yes?
Go take the RDOT camera over here on the upper left. You're looking at the wall cloud live in Hot Springs. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we got this on camera right now. But that's the wall cloud right there, and I don't see any rotation. You may see some small appendages. So this is 270 going into Hot Springs, Magic Springs over there on the right. But there's the wall cloud over here, and what you're looking for is anything coming down, an appendage on that, and I don't see one just yet. It looks pretty high-based, to be honest with you.
I would say that one in Hot Springs is weakened in the last scan as far as velocity is concerned.
Good.
That's good news there.
But we have a visual on that lowering there.
Right.
It's obvious there that on that camera we see the lowering. And of course we had that one wall cloud in Perry County too that did not seem to be rotating all that strong in the lowest levels. But now we're going to continue to monitor this. But that one in northern Saline County, my goodness, that thing ramped up quickly.
Really wrapped up.
And I know there's
hey, let's look at debris real quickly. Do we have a dropout here?
Let's go to Joel. Go ahead.
That might be.
Yeah.
Do you think that's debris?
You're gonna have to put it in motion. See.
New tornado warning for that one now includes eastern Perry County, northwestern Pulaski, and southwestern Faulkner County.
Yeah, it turned right a little bit too. Yeah. And I think that it's got a debris signature on it, as you said. It's crossing over Highway 9 near Reform. So again, we're going to keep that wall cloud up there in Hot Springs. We'll watch for anything there. But this is the immediate concern because we think that there could be a tornado on the ground coming up on Williams Junction in far northern Saline County and far western Pulaski County. This one is going to, again, if the tornado sirens are going off in Pulaski County, the tornado warning is not for Little Rock. I want to make sure that it's abundantly clear right now that with this one particular storm, I'm not saying it's not possible later on, we got other storms that we'll have to deal with, but last week, whenever it was that we had, 2 weeks ago, whenever we had those storms and those tornadoes, they were on the east side of the county and the sirens were going off in West Little Rock. So just know that if the sirens are going off throughout Pulaski County, the tornado potential is on the northwest side of the county with this moving up towards the northeast, and it will get very close to Y Mountain, the west side of Lake Maumelle, Highway 10. Can we get our Chenal camera on, that our Chenal camera is going to have this, guys. If we can pull up the Chenal camera. Do you know how to get that one up on the computer? Maybe the traffic computer. I'm not sure where we can get it. But anyway, so we should be able to get that on our Chenal camera if we can. But that one has the most dangerous signature now on radar. I'm still watching again. Nothing coming out of that Hot Springs yet. And that has weakened somewhat. But this is the one in far northern Saline County. Debris signature possible. They have not put a confirmed tornado tag on it or turned it purple, which would denote a confirmed tornado. It looks rather messy when you look at the debris signatures on there because there's several pockets of dropout. So I'm not quite sure. I don't have enough confidence to say for sure, but it sure is suspicious there over Reform, moving east towards Williams Junction and Perrin, crossing over Highway 9, and we'll be crossing over Highway 10 very soon. So let's get a little bit close. Did we just get a new tornado warning? All right, so this is a new tornado warning, and this is for the south.
This is for
Yep.
northwestern Clark County. That's some strong rotation there northwest of Arkadelphia.
Very strong rotation.
I'm going to track on that for you.
All right, this is just south of Beaton in Hot Spring County, Lenox, Highway 7, Caney, Caddo Valley is just outside of it. But there's the possible tornado along Highway 8. This is Clark County moving into Hot Spring County. So that's a new tornado warning that's in effect here. 5:27 is your time, and that tornado warning is going to be in effect for at least 30 to 45 minutes and could be affecting Bismarck. I think this goes just to the south of Bismarck in Hot Spring County and will be coming up right over DeGray within the next couple of minutes, it'll be over to gray. What you're looking at again, the wall cloud in Hot Spring County. This is Jesse Hayes, and that's a live look at Little Rock right now from downtown Little Rock. So let's go over to Joel with the storm track. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, so I want to put a new storm track on this brand new tornado warning that goes until 6:15 for northern Clark County. It does not include Arkadelphia. That rotation right now is approaching the Hot Spring County line. So it won't be in Clark County much longer, but that's some tight rotation there, and it's approaching the Caney area. At 5:39, DeRoche at about 5:44, Red Oak 5:52, Social Hill 5:55, Diamond Head 5:58, Shorewood Hills at 6:01, Malvern at 6:04. I think it will probably, yeah, here's Malvern here. Here's the rotation there, tight rotation, about to cross over into Hot Spring County here very shortly. So I want to get a little closer and get some street names on this because this has kind of popped up pretty quickly. That rotation is near Ozone Point Road, crossing over eventually over to Cato Drive there, Chestnut Drive, Edgewood Drive, Sycamore Drive, Hickory Grove Road, and that area. So here's Caney right in here. There's that rotation. That's going to take it kind of crossing over at Cato Drive there where it crosses out of Clark County into Hot Spring County. It would likely cross over Highway 7 there just northwest of Edgewood Drive there. So that rotation's pretty strong. I want to look at debris mode. I don't see evidence of a tornado on the ground, but that velocity is really strong, Todd, and some of the strongest rotation I've seen since I came in just a little while ago.
It is.
There's another area of rotation in northern Conway County we need to keep a close watch on as well.
Yeah, you know, that's the area of the state that I would think would be more favorable for tornadoes,
right.
Is up there towards the north. This is what he's looking at, north of St. Vincent, west of Center Ridge in Conway County. No tornado warning on that. Just to let you know, up there towards the north, we are continuing to monitor those storms, but we've got to concentrate on what's happening towards the south. We've got cameras all over the place. And Jesse Hayes, do we have a location on Jesse?
He is trying to get an updated location with Jesse as well. I don't have one for now, Todd. Let me text him and see.
Okay, so this is the other storm that is not as strong as it was, Joel.
I think it weakened a little bit. It might have picked up just a little. It's tightened a little bit.
Yeah, it's not as strong as it was, but still put together. Going over Highway 9, and this is going right over where Perry, Saline, and Pulaski County come together, southwest of Y Mountain. So you see Y Mountain right here. There's Bigelow way up there. New severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for that. But there's Y Mountain just to the southwest of Y Mountain by about 5 to 10 miles, by the way the crow flies, crossing over Highway 10 in western Pulaski County. Much of central Arkansas now under a severe thunderstorm warning, and several tornado warnings continue. Going back into the Hot Springs, central areas of Hot Springs and Garland County, that rotation on radar is not there hardly. There's still a tornado warning, so please take your tornado precautions. And this one, as Joel said, the strongest one he's seen since he came into work this afternoon, is going south of Bismarck, right over the lake. And when these high winds and potential tornadoes go over a very smooth surface like a lake, it could actually accelerate the winds, especially the inflow into that. So you're looking at this, a lot of times you'll see docks that got flipped over, the roofs and boats flipped over. It goes over that smooth lake surface, and it's a reduced amount of friction. We'll check the debris. It's hard to say if that's something there. Very difficult to say if that's a tornado debris signature. Not sold on that, but I do know that there's strong rotation, and that's affecting western Hot Spring County. So in my opinion, we have two areas that are of high suspicion and two tornado warnings. There's three, but there's the one that's in northern Saline, moving into far western Pulaski, southern Perry County, and this one in Hot Spring County, moving to Hot Spring County. This middle one seems to be all kind of gelling into one line, with this one and this one being the main circulation centers. Little Rock being right here. We're going to stay on the air for everybody in the metro until this threat is over. Of course, for the entire viewing area, we will do that. Also, some new information from our chasers. Zach Hardcastle says that the sun is shining just to the west of Mayflower, so that's not good. with the instability levels too out in front of this, meaning that these can maintain themselves. But as far as the wind shear, Joel, I would expect the wind shear with this to decrease.
I would have expected more tornado warnings in North Arkansas than even what we have now.
Completely agree.
I would have, but these have more access to the moisture, so.
Yep, and it seems like that's what's is fueling these rotational areas.
I have a new storm track whenever you're ready. Just let me know.
Okay, well, I just wanted to check in on this because I've got very close friends in eastern Perry County. In the Houston area, the Y Mountain area, it's very scary up here. This is wind. This is a potential tornado. It's not right now what I would call a strong tornado if it was on the ground. Every tornado is strong, but I'm talking about the big tornadoes. Could it get big? Yes, but right now, if there's a tornado, I think it would be a very small one, but you know how much damage those can cause. And it's moving towards the northeast. So I think it goes through the southeastern portion of Perry County and goes into southern Faulkner County, right along Polarum Creek, near Conway or south of Conway, Mayflower, not like 2014. That's not what we're looking at with the current state of radar. And in my opinion, the atmosphere is not like what it was in 2014, but they can still produce tornadoes. So I'm just trying to tell you the way I see it right now, that there's still very significant rotation, and it doesn't seem to be moving all that much. There's the new scan. And Higginbotham Road, Williams Junction, I mean, this is it right here. If there's a tornado, that would be it, just crossing over Highway 9 near County Road 153, Higginbotham Road, Duffy Lane, and we'll be going over Highway 10. Here's Highway 10 right here. That's the split where it goes off to Y Mountain. There's Williams Junction, and that's due south of Williams Junction where we see the at least some small rotation. Well, go ahead, Joel. I'm looking at these feeds off to the left, make sure we're not missing anything. And Christopher, just jump in and yell if you need to. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, so just putting another track on this storm again, crossing over Highway 9 there near Williams Junction, just northeast of Lake Winona there. That's tracking toward the northeast. It's probably going to be, if it produces a tornado, this is the track that it would take. It would take it now into the far western tip of Pulaski County, and would likely take it over the Y area at 5:45, Fouche at 5:49, Monty Springs at 5:55, Mayflower 6 o'clock. So that's kind of when we're expecting it to approach Interstate 40 there between Conway and Little Rock. So if you know anyone right now who is about to get on I-40 at Conway and head south toward Little Rock, or Little Rock and head north toward Conway, I would advise you to stay off that route for the time being, as there is that storm there capable of producing a tornado right there crossing into Pulaski County now, and it's going to be taking it over the Arkansas River eventually out near Lake Maumelle and out near the Mayflower area. So again, that is the current track for that storm in particular. We're also looking at another storm with some strong rotation that has just now crossed over into Hot Spring County. That, let me get a speed on that. That's moving at about 40 miles per hour. So tracking it to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And that's some tight rotation there. Southeast of Bismarck, moving right along, or moving about to cross over Highway 7. Southeast of Bismarck. So DeRoche, you need to be in your safe place. Malvern, this may stay just northwest of you, but I need you in your safe place there. DeRoche, 546, lowest floor away from windows. You need to be in a room surrounded by other rooms. A bathroom, as long as it has no windows, maybe a closet or a hallway. DeRoche, 546. Social Hill, 557. Here's Social Hill. There's that rotation. It's going to take it probably most likely directly toward DeRoche. It might keep it northwest of Social Hill. Diamond Head, 6 o'clock. Shorewood Hills at 6:03. Malvern, 6:06. So here's Malvern. There's that rotation heading toward DeRoche. It might keep it just northwest of Malvern, but Malvern, let's be in our safe place. In fact, the city of Malvern is right on the edge of that polygon. So technically, you're just right on the edge of the tornado warning. But that is where we expect that to eventually go. So you can kind of see the general track for that rotation, taking it across Highway 7 now, southeast of Bismarck. And that would eventually take it northeast, kind of toward the Butterfield area, maybe eventually, and right up just north and west of I-30. So we've got that rotation. Going back to the storm up here that is crossing over into Pulaski County, that appears to have broadened out a little bit. That's good news. but still I would advise maybe stay off of Interstate 40 for the time being, south and east of Conway, and that may eventually take it up toward Conway. But the good news is that rotation there has weakened a good bit. Looking all up and down this line, I want to make sure we're not missing anything. There's a little bit of rotation in northern Conway County near Center Ridge. It is very broad rotation and nowhere near as strong as even what we have down here in western Pulaski County. That has broadened out a lot. So our strongest rotation right now is with this storm southeast of Bismarck. I'm going to get in here a little closer to that, near Corinth Road, right there on Highway 7. So there's your rotation. It's probably already crossed over Highway 7. We should get another scan that would probably put it right there around Corinth Road. We're talking about, I'm going to get a little closer here so we can get some other street names. Allen Road, Williams Cutoff Road, Finley Road, Hickory Grove Road, Williams Cutoff Road. I think I already just said that. Fayette Lane, Sycamore Drive, McCann Drive, that area. Yeah, there's your rotation right there near Allen Road, just crossed over Highway 7. So this is right now, if there's a tornado with this, it's probably near Dixon Road, Williams Cutoff Road, right there, Allen Road as well, as I mentioned. Sycamore Drive, lowest floor away from windows. Beranger Road, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Sunshine Acres Trail, Estep Road. And again, that's heading right toward DeRoche. So DeRoche, you need to be in that lowest floor away from windows. Lucky Lady Court, Harkrider Road, County Road 811. Again, lowest floor away from windows. That rotation there just crossed over Highway 7 southeast of Bismarck. If there's a tornado, that's where it would be or it just crossed over. And I just pulled up the debris mode, Todd. I want you to look at this. Do we have a tornado on the ground there just southeast of Bismarck? I need your opinion on that one.
Yeah, that does look very suspicious.
It does correlate with the, if I switch it from, so there's what I'm talking about, that dropout right there.
Yeah.
We'll switch it over to velocity.
Gosh, that's where
close. That's where it would be. That's most likely a tornado on the ground or possibly a tornado on the ground. DeRoche, okay. Lowest floor away from windows right now.
All right, so if we go over here to max 1 or wherever I am, I don't know where I am. Am I on 1 or 2? It doesn't matter.
I think
so
you're
there's
on
my
1.
finger there, and then we go over to the debris signature, see if it matches up. There's the dropout somewhere over there. Now remember, these products come in at a little different times. So that could be something, as Joel was just putting out. We need to act as if this is on the ground.
Let's tighten up too.
Yeah, we should always act as, when there's a tornado warning, act as if it's on the ground. But as DeRoche, Highway 84, Joel, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that the northern storms are really starting to weaken. They might be cycling, but for the moment they're not as strong. But this one, my goodness, did it go up quickly. Williams Cutoff Road, and I know I'm repeating some of what Joel's been telling you, but this is it. Southeast of Bismarck, Camp Road, DeRoche, Highway 128. There is Allen Road. This is very sus right in here. Just to the west of what's Sycamore Drive. That's where we think that the tornado would be located. And we look at the debris signature. Gosh, and when a lot of times what's helpful is to look at the evolution of this and not just a still shot. So when we back this up, that's the current image. We'll back it up, and you see maybe a little something.
I wonder if it's been on the ground since before it crossed over Highway 7, Todd.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell because it's very messy, and it's not very well defined until that latest scan. That latest scan is the one where it just kind of popped out of that whole mess east of Highway 7. DeRoche, we can't urge you enough to stay sheltered. It does look like, I'm looking to see what the National Weather Service says about it. And
they're responding right now.
Boy, look at that new scan. Do you see that?
Are you talking about velocity?
No, I'm looking at
debris.
Debris, that new scan that just came in on
right there around Hickory Grove Road and Ponderosa Trail, Hickory Grove Road, and Sycamore Drive. That area, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Williams Cutoff 128. To me, it looks like they're maybe ramped up a little bit there.
DeRoche, you need to be in your safe place. Harkrider Drive, I believe that was. Sparks Trail, County Road 804, lowest floor, away from windows. You need to, again, be in that safe place right now. Can't stress that enough. DeRoche, that is a possible tornado on the ground, and I believe they, I'm just trying to get a little more confirmation from the Weather Service if they agree that that is.
You work on that. I just want to give you an update. Stay with Joel on that storm because I want Joel to. That's the worst of them all. But you know, I know many of you are wondering right now in southeastern and southwestern Faulkner County as well as eastern Perry and part of Pulaski County. I'm watching that rotation. It's near Y Mountain. It will go south of Bigelow and go over Y, but it's not as strong as it was.
Right.
And also the one in northern Perry County coming out of Hot Springs Village has virtually disappeared. Stay sheltered, but stay with this one storm because if there's a tornado in Arkansas, this is where it is.
This is our strongest rotation. Again, to repeat, this is a tornado warning for Hot Spring County, southeastern Garland County until 6:15. But the tornado that is possibly or probably, we're going to say probably on the ground at the moment, approaching DeRoche. Can't stress this enough. DeRoche, you need to be in your safe place. Lowest floor, away from windows. Get into a hallway, a bathroom, a closet, a room that is surrounded by other rooms. If your bathroom has windows, it's not a safe place. You need to find a closet or a hallway. Again, they are now putting, by the way, if you'll notice, that red polygon just changed to pink. That means that they are now agreeing with what we are seeing, that this is a tornado on the ground moving into DeRoche right now. So they are calling this now a confirmed tornado. If you have anyone who's driving down Highway 84, Social Hill toward DeRoche, make them stop. Avoid that road right now. 128, you don't want to drive south toward DeRoche right now or north toward DeRoche because that tornado is headed right over DeRoche right now. Or is believed to be a confirmed tornado right now. So let me get a new track on this. Again, that is moving toward the northeast at 40 miles per hour. And that rotation is right on top of DeRoche, and it has strengthened. So friends in DeRoche, please be in your safe place. Can't stress this enough. That rotation right on top of you right now. DeRoche, lowest floor. Jones Mills, 603. Be in your safe place. Malvern, 606. Malvern is right here. DeRoche, that rotation is right on top of you. I want to get in a little closer and try to get a little bit more specific because that rotation has strengthened as it's approaching DeRoche. That rotation is right there. That we're going to stop calling it rotation and just call it a tornado. That tornado is right around Behringer Road, Honeyboy Road, maybe just south of you, approaching DeRoche or right on top of DeRoche. Camp Road. It might stay just north of that intersection of 128 and 84. But Camp Road, that's probably going to be moving in your general direction there, maybe up 128 near DeSoto Road. And taking it north and east from there, Sparks Trail, Possum Trot Road, Jaguar Loop Road, Possum Trot Road, I think I said that already, Taylor Hollow Road. All of those locations, lowest floor away from windows. Again, that is a tornado that is on the ground or believed to be on the ground and confirmed there, Todd.
We just got some video in that we're going to work to get up of that lowering as it crossed over DeGray. It is very scary video, but as we said, we have this tornado that is on the ground doing damage in or near DeRoche. Great work. Thank you so much, Joel. Highway 128. We're working to get that video on the air here in just moments. It was taken 5 minutes ago as it went over DeGray, and it is scary. It is a perfect bell-shaped wall cloud. But we got that coming up in just a little bit. There's Honeyboy Road. There's Behringer Road. That's it, and it's on the ground over DeRoche or northwest of DeRoche, and it's going to get awfully close to Malvern. Malvern, take cover. Nobody should be on the interstate. Everybody should be off the roads between Malvern and Hot Springs. Between Malvern and Hot Springs, there's a confirmed tornado. Just text my friend Denny Teeter, and he's okay. And he's just to let everybody know that I know in Malvern. Take your tornado precautions now. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. This is the real deal. This is a confirmed tornado. Every single tornado is survivable if you just do the right thing. If you heed the warnings and go to that interior home portion of your home or your business and put as many walls between you and the outside. Jesse Hayes reporting to us no damage in the William Junctions area. So that's some more good news. Not sure which feed. That's Zach Hardcastle there. So there's DeRoche moving towards the northeast. Let me know when we have that video.
We're about to have it here in just a second. There we go. It is up on Max 3 if you want to take Max 3.
All right, let me get the credit to this.
Don't take the audio, please.
Do not take the audio, please. So this is from Pam Bartholomew Bartholomew, so sorry, but that's, you see the docks there, that's the low-hanging wall cloud. This is what is producing a tornado right now as it went over to Gray about 5 minutes ago, and it's affecting DeRoche now. So that is the lowering. That is an ominous-looking wall cloud. Almost looks like the whole thing is sitting on the ground. All right, thank you very much. Let's go back over to the max. So that was just moments ago, and I think it may have actually increased just a little bit. If there's the signature for debris right in here, moving towards the northeast, there's Taylor Hollow Road, where the hopefully weakening storm eventually will move over, but it's still moving and maintaining itself on the radar. There's Possum Trot Road, Social Hill along I-30. It's going to go just to the west of Social Hill on I-30, and then there's Highway 84, okay? There's Highway 270 coming out of Malvern. You do not want to be on 270. You know, Diamond Head is another place. 270 going up towards Hot Springs, it's going to cross over there, and it's not in the tornado-warned polygon right now, but if I could draw this polygon myself, I would draw it further towards the north and cover that highway that connects Malvern and Hot Springs. Nobody should be on that highway right now. That's all 4-lane highway, and it's very busy, a lot of traffic. Nobody should be on that because it's going to cross right over that. Diamond Head, another community, and on I-30 west, it's staying west of I-30 and will be crossing over 171. All right. What do you have, Christopher? Do you have something going on?
So I've got the look at our en-route values and our storm analyst tool. This is on the OBS computer, or the storm analyst computer here in front of me. I do want to show you just the last few scans over the, let's see if I can get it pulled up here. There we go. There it is right there. This was just a moment ago on our en-route values, showing some reds, and again showing very strong rotation with that. There's a new updated right there going just to the west of Social Hill. But Todd, just wanted to show you that our en-route values are definitely ringing the bells on this one, with it being really strong rotation, Todd.
Okay. Stay on that. Joel, we're going to go to you for that in just a second, but I want to check in on these storms to the north. There seems to be an uptick in the rotation. The tornado warning continues, by the way, for this. I'll show you where I see the uptick, but where the current tornado warning is, Y Mountain, there's very little rotation on that, but there's still some, and going into southwestern Faulkner County, but there seems to be an uptick in an area where there is no tornado warning, and it's east of Hot Springs Village and will be going just to the north of Benton. But this is on Highway 9, crossing over Highway 9 near Crows in Saline County. But there's an uptick in the rotation. That's Highway 5, Whittington, and I would be very cautious. That's very sus right there, north of Crows, suspicious, going across Highway 9, and that's a community, Kentucky and Salem. And I'd like to warn my brother out there too, be ready to take your tornado precautions. There's no tornado warning out there right now, but that is an area that is of great concern now coming into central Saline County. They just updated the warning polygon. It is still most likely on the ground. It is northeast of DeRoche. It may miss Malvern just to the west, but if it takes a right turn, Malvern would be in the bullseye of this.
I kind of suspect it might be taking more of a northerly track than northeasterly, or I should say, maybe it's not turning as far right as maybe we thought there.
Well, if it turns north, that would mean that it's going to lose its rotation at some point. So if it starts to hook this way to the north, it would probably start to lose its spin. If it starts to turn more towards the right, or continues northeast or turns to the right, it will actually ramp itself up. So if it is turning more towards the left, which is good, towards the left side, then I would suspect in the next couple of scans a potential weakening. Also, I don't want to ignore what we got here going on wherever Zach is. I don't know, and whose ever that is. I've lost track of that, Christopher, on the screen.
Yes.
Upper left is who?
So we've got the upper left being Zach, and then we've got the bottom there being Scott, and I'm working on getting Zach's phone call in as well. So
where's their location?
Let's see what his location is. I haven't got Zach's or, yeah.
There's the new scan. It weakened.
It's weakened.
Because it started jogging towards the north a little bit, and it's not able to tap into and take ingest and take advantage of the wind shear, is what I'm trying to say. But it's still there, and it's a confirmed tornado, but it does not look as strong as it did in the previous scan. but we look at the debris signature, and there's definite signs of something being lofted in the air near Possum Trot Road, Taylor Hollow Road, north of Sparks Trail, and just to the south of Sundown Mountain Road. That's where that would be. There's Long Bell Trail, the inflow into this right into here, and that's where the potential tornado is, right there along highway, right where that shield is, 128. So that would be where if there's a tornado, that's where it is. Yep, right there. And it's not as strong as it was, so it may be doing that little left jog, which let's hope that maintains itself, because that would mean that it's not able to take and to efficiently tap into the shear. Now let me go back up and hope that this is not as strong as it was in the last scan. No tornado warning for this, but there's an area of high wind for sure north of Highway 5 moving towards the northeast, and we've got to watch that for rotation. No tornado warning in central Saline County, but that is an area of enhancement that must be monitored as that comes into central Arkansas. Joel, I haven't been able to check in with the National Weather Service. Hot Springs storm now, that was at 5:51 indicated, and not radar confirmed. So they are now taking away the radar confirmed tornado off of that storm.
I'm going to get a track on this storm that's coming through Saline County right now. We don't have any proper warnings on it right now, but it's on a trajectory that would take it into Little Rock. I want to get a track on it here really quickly. I want to make sure I have the speed on it correct. I'm going to put it at about 45 miles per hour just to be on the safe side. And let's see if this were to try to strengthen. You see the hook there, right there in Saline County. Let's put a track on it, moving toward the east-northeast as if it's headed toward Little Rock. If this were to try to produce a tornado, it may reach Little Rock at around 6:30ish. So again, this is not a tornado warned storm, but it is a storm that has the look on it. It's heading into an environment where it could strengthen, and we've had already a confirmed tornado down in Hot Spring County. So this storm here, if it were to hold together, it's heading toward Little Rock. So we need to stay weather aware with that, Todd.
All right, just stay with Joel for just a second.
Yeah, let's go down here once again and check in on the storm in Hot Spring County. Again, that rotation is weaker, or let me go back in time because it looked like okay, that's where it was stronger. It weakened a little bit there, that's good. It has strengthened just a little bit. It's not as strong as it was when it was confirmed, but let's continue to stay on this, and it may require a new tornado warning eventually because, let's see, that tornado warning right now is set to go until 6:15, so it has just about 20 minutes left on that, but we're going to put a track on it. It's going to be right on the Garland-Hot Spring County line there, and it's going to be going kind of just below Lake Catherine there, kind of around the Jones Mills area. So eventually crossing over 270 near Jones Mills at 6:02, Butterfield 6:07. Butterfield and Jones Mills at the moment not technically under a tornado warning because you're outside of that polygon, but they're probably looking at it right now trying to make the decision whether they need to issue a new tornado warning or if they're going to let that one expire. They're going to be looking at that one for them. They're going to let it go, most likely, at least until its expiration time. It's still considered confirmed. Looking at that, it doesn't look like it's strengthening significantly, but certainly a storm that needs to be watched there. And going back up here into Saline County, that still has not strengthened too much more. And it looks like we do not have a tornado warning on this storm near Conway any longer, Todd.
There are no more tornado warnings in effect except this one. All right, this is the only one. And they said they converted this to a not radar confirmed, but it's still showing up as pink. So, keep his mic up. Say that again.
I just haven't seen it. Yeah, it hasn't changed on Max.
Yeah, I don't know why, because normally it does. Just to let you know, I talked to Zach. This is up in Mayflower area, and that's a shelf cloud that he's looking at. So that's in a severe warned storm. But this is the only one, and it's almost out of this polygon, and it's really kind of strange just to see that it's not updating to a regular tornado warning. But they just issued a new tornado warning. All right, so that's not surprising, and this does include Lonsdale and Benton in Saline County. So I'm sure the sirens will be going off, if not already, in Saline County as a new tornado warning. Again, that's what they're doing. They're replacing the confirmed tornado warning with a run-in-the-mill tornado warning, if there's such a thing. It's just radar indicated, okay? If it was confirmed, it would turn purple. This is radar indicated, meaning that has had a history of producing tornadoes, may not right now, but can at any moment, if it isn't already, but probably can at any moment. But all the other ones have dissipated and have lost their circulation except this one. So let's get into the mode of warning everybody in the path of this potential tornado. It's broader circulation crossing over 270. Remember I said nobody should be on 270. You're under a tornado warning right now. Between Hot Springs and Malvern. This is going to stay just northwest of Malvern, but that's the potential tornado. Strong circulation. There's Red Oak. There's Highway 7 staying east of that. This is for Benton and not for Bryant, though, but you're next in line if this continues. But I think as this goes further east, it's not going to be able, it's going to lose some of its environment that would enhance the tornado capability, and I think that's what we're seeing. I think that we're seeing now the beginning stages of all of this starting to ramp down for the evening, because we said between 2 and 6 o'clock was the prime time for the tornado threat. And notice how that, and let me knock on wood, that's what's happening now. But we still have one tornado warning, and we're going to watch this all the way through the metro. We're not leaving you. We've got spotters all over the place. We've had wall clouds, we've had funnel clouds, and we've had some radar confirmed tornadoes. And I'm going to rely on our news department to get in touch with me about any damage that we may have come across during all of this. But here we are coming up on 6 o'clock, the Arkansas Storm Team. We can't thank you enough for making us your choice for severe weather coverage. You're literally putting your lives in our hands, and we take that extremely seriously. That you come to us for this in these types of situations. Butterfield, Highway 51, this is northern Hot Spring County. I see it near Diamond Head. This is going to stay east of Hot Springs. This is, yes, this is in effect for portions of Garland County, but this will stay east of Hot Springs and will affect Shorewood Hills, and also Running Deer Drive. That's it right there, O'Neill Drive. That's where the potential location of the tornado, what's left of it, and it's not confirmed. We're going to get a track on that right now with meteorologist Joel Young. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, I've got a new track on this. It's moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So based on that track, it's moving over Butterfield at 6:08. So in just about 9 minutes from now, Lonsdale 6:16, Haskell at 6:25, Kentucky over in Saline County at 6:29, Benton and Salem right around 6:32 to 6:37, Bryant at 6:41, and Shannon Hills at 6:48 with that storm there. Tornado warning storm there. That tornado warning for Saline County, eastern Garland County, and northern Hot Spring County goes until 6:45. So again, I would not be driving down I-30, but I would especially not be driving down 270 there north and west of Malvern toward the Jones Mills area. That was a confirmed tornado earlier. It may have lifted, but it is still in position where it could try to touch back down somewhere. There's Highway 171. Here's Highway 270. Kind of right there just down from Lake Catherine there where you can put in and go floating down the river. Hopefully no one's floating this afternoon in that part of the state there on the Ouachita River. Butterfield, and again, that's going to continue moving northeastward, kind of running parallel or along I-30 once it crosses out of Hot Spring County over into Saline County. Right now, I believe we're going to toss things over to Todd with a little bit more information over there at the wall.
Pull up Scott's feed right now. He says he's got, this is down here. Let's go full screen with that. That's a wall cloud, he said. And let me see where he said. That's where Scott, is he near Conway? Is that right?
He is, yes, at Conway.
Conway? All right. So that's, let me call him real quick. Let's call Scott Hollinger. So we're going to call Scott here and get him on the phone and talk to him about what he sees here. As that's, I thought it was a shelf cloud at first. Scott, you're on.
Scott.
Yeah, you're on the air, Scott. We got that. First, when I saw that, it looked like a shelf cloud. But tell me what you're seeing and where you are.
Todd, I'm gonna use my phrase, big old bag of wind.
Yeah.
That's a gust front, Todd. It's not
Okay.
a wall. It may have been a wall cloud, but it's not rotating. It's gusting out. We got outflow coming out of it, so it's strictly just a gust front coming out of it now.
That's what I thought. When I saw it, I thought, is that a wall? It didn't look like one to me. So that's
Well,
just
that's
big.
what we thought. That's what we thought too.
Yeah, it's just a big bag of wind, as you said. So that's coming into Conway right now.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, thank you so much, Scott. So if you're watching us from Conway, that is an extreme amount of wind and water that's coming out of this. So power outage is possible. If you see this low-hanging cloud, that's not a wall cloud. That's what I thought. It's the leading edge. It's kind of a outflow from it. It's sort of a low-hanging gust front shelf cloud that's moving through, and it's going to cause some high winds in the Conway area. Let's go back to Max that I'm on right now, Max 1. The tornado warning continues, and the scans have not been coming back with overly impressive as far as I'm concerned. There are 2 areas of rotation, but I'm wondering if we're getting some side lobe contamination with this on the south end. But this is where I think the rotation would be. It kind of shows something down here, but I'm not sold on that right now, north of Social Hill. But this is in the process, in my opinion, of sort of, I don't want to say weakening, but maybe a little bit, Joel?
Perhaps. I'm assuming you're looking at the one down in Hot Spring County. I've been looking also at a storm up here in northern Arkansas near Fairfield Bay. That's been some tight rotation right there. No tornado warning on it right now. There is a severe thunderstorm warning on it, but if you live in Fairfield Bay or over into northwestern Cleburne County, watch that closely. And we're going to be watching it as well. Right now there's no tornado warning, and right now I just reached out to the Weather Service to see. They said circulation is somewhat broad right now, and I would agree with it, but there for a moment it looked like it was pretty tight, at least with one scan. The last scan maybe not as tight, but that needs to be watched there really closely. There's another storm near Greenbrier that's trying to hook, at least. Doesn't look like it has the rotation with it. But that's what I was watching just then before you tossed to me. But I will go back down here really quickly and look at Hot Spring County. That still has rotation. And I'll put another track on it, moving northeast from around Magnet Cove up toward Benton. Again, Butterfield 608. In 4 minutes, Glen Rose 616, Haskell 625, Kentucky 629, Benton 632, Salem at 637, and Bryant at 641. We believe the storm earlier may have produced a tornado down near DeRoche in Hot Spring County. And right now it's crossing over Highway 270. Much weaker than it was earlier, but still possibly trying to produce a tornado at some point, and still has that potential once it gets up into Saline County. Meanwhile, I'm going to take you up here toward this storm that we were watching earlier that still generally heading toward Little Rock. Does not have the rotation on it that it once did, but still something that's worth watching there, Todd.
Look at the velocities on that storm coming up in Hot Spring County, because to me it looks like there may be some
side load contamination. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I see, some side load contamination with that. So I'm not 100% sure.
Agree with that.
Yeah, I think there's some rotation still there.
Part of that because I think where we would see there's the strongest rotation there now outside of the pink box there. When I switch it over and look at radar mode, most of the rain is behind that. So, Todd, I would agree that might be side load contamination. Christopher has a little bit more information right now in the Weather Center.
I want to show you real fast. I turned over onto the RDOT camera on the top screen. If we could take that full screen real quick, I'll just show you just how strong those winds were a moment ago. That is right on top of the storm that we are talking about towards Magnet Cove. And I'm going to go down here, move down a little bit closer towards Magnet Cove right there. This is where that camera is, but I'm going to go over here close to I-30 and see we got dry, but then right in the middle of the storm, it is raining hard, and there was a lot of wind with that, Todd and Joel. Just a second ago, the trees were bending with that storm as it pushed through.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Christopher. Just reading what the National Weather Service is putting out is Joel is putting out that one circulation, Van Buren County going to Cleburne. There,
it's broadened out even more. It's
broadened out. Okay, that's good. I really think, and again, sometimes I get caught wish casting these things, meaning I'm hoping things calm down. But I do think that we're coming down off the peak of the tornado threat, because we thought after 6 o'clock the tornado threat would be decreasing at this point. And here we are coming up just a little bit past 6 o'clock. We have one tornado warning in effect, and we're going to stay here with you. Believe me, we're not leaving you. But it looks like there's a lot of, it looks like there's circulations here, but I think this is contamination with the radar. The main area that what's left of that circulation, and it was confirmed earlier, is over Smoke Ridge Road and Magnet Cove. So if there's a tornado, I don't think it's a huge one, and it may not even be on the ground, but there's the potential near Magnet Cove, Smoke Ridge Road, That's where we think it is, and it's moving towards Benton. I'm sure the sirens are going off in Saline County, and rightfully so, especially the Benton area. We want you to take your tornado precautions to be on the safe side. Will this still be tornado warned by the time he gets into Saline County? I can't tell you, but I think the minute by minute, every minute that passes is a minute that the models are showing us the tornado threat decreases into the evening and lifts northeast of the state. I will admit to you, I thought all of this would be north of central Arkansas, and so far all of it has been in central and western Arkansas. So that's the weather for you. We tell you, we try to pinpoint exact locations, but Mother Nature is going to do exactly what Mother Nature wants to do. But this is a supercell here. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for the western part of Pulaski County. Severe thunderstorm warning. Could this get upgraded to a tornado? Sure. But I think with each passing minute, that chance goes down. But don't take these severe thunderstorm warnings lightly. They could be wind producers. This is the only tornado warning. Even if there's not a tornado, there's most likely damaging winds within that storm. But there are 2 supercell storms here. That might be a stretch to call that supercell, but it is. And down here in northern Hot Spring County, going into the far eastern tip of Garland County and into southern Saline County. So let's look at the velocities on this one that's not tornado warned, severe thunderstorm warned. And what I see is just a bunch of chaotic wind motion right now. I don't see anything organized in terms of a tornado, but I see wind. But as far as a tornado is concerned, I don't see that right now. The only potential tornado is here northern. It's now past Malvern, so I think Malvern is for the most part in the clear. And I don't know why this thing is still showing up, that confirmed tornado. I don't know why that thing is still up there.
If I'm looking at just rain mode or the reflectivity mode, I would think that storm up in Saline County was stronger than the one in Hot Spring County.
Yeah.
But then when you look at velocity, it's a different story.
Yeah, but you look at the velocities here, and it does not seem to be as well put together as it was.
Still probably some strong wind up there just northwest of Magnet Cove, or right over Magnet Cove.
But yeah, you said just based on the
based on,
And this is what Joel was talking about, based on, you see how that kind of inflow right into there. So there's something there coming into western Pulaski County. Severe warned, but I looked at the wind fields and they don't look, they look chaotic to me and not organized. But it's that latest scan, Joel, based on reflectivity, my goodness. Then you go to velocity. I guess north Lake Norrell, there could be something there trying to get its, there's Striper Lane, and there's also Rushing Road, Bishop Mountain Trail. God, maybe something there. This is Ferndale and Pulaski County. It's right on the Pulaski and Saline County line. If there's a tornado trying to develop it, I don't see anything there. Go ahead. We have meteorologist Christopher Pipkin. Go ahead.
I just want them to see if they can put up the camera, our Little Rock sky camera behind Todd. You can actually see the storm that they're talking about right now. Very good view of that storm.
What source is that on?
I'm just going to go ahead and toss it on to the traffic camera. So go ahead and take the traffic camera forward. We've got Scott Hollinger, and I'll have that up here in just a second. But definitely seeing, there it is. Well,
no, that's Mountain Magazine. I'll switch it over here.
So you look at the Little Rock camera, and you can see the inflow of that storm.
Okay, I'm going to it right now. It should pop up from the bank. There we go. There it is. See the state capitol, I-630. So we're looking at that storm now coming up the interstate?
Yes, that's the storm coming up to the interstate. I'm going to try to zoom in on it just a bit, see if we can get a better view.
Wait, no, that's the one. That's the one in Saline County,
Saline
up on Ferndale.
Yes.
Yeah, you can actually see the lowering on that a little bit. So you can zoom in on that, right?
Let's see, there we go. We can get in a little closer to it, but definitely a good view of this storm looking off towards the west here. Let's see if I can get a little bit more zoomed.
Yeah.
That it starts shaking.
I see what you're looking at there. Kind of see the lowering down in there.
It's definitely a good view of that storm, at least on our sky camera here in Little Rock.
Yeah, let's continue to monitor that. But yeah, I think what you're seeing there is the lowering.
Yep.
With that, don't you?
I think so too. Definitely some inflow going into that storm too, and if there is anything, it would be where we are looking at right now in that area. I wish, in that area. Yeah, so we got
a good view of this storm from downtown Little Rock that's coming into western Pulaski County. And so that's definitely worth watching for a while there, because that's the part of the thunderstorm, especially on the left side, that if there's a tornado, it's very difficult to see, because sometimes what appears nothing is happening. I think that's all rain back in here. That's probably a bunch of rain. But that's worth watching here to see if there's anything it comes down. You know, there are some times when you have a tornado, and there's no tornado warning on this. You know, it could be producing a tornado, and you're looking at this, and you can't see it because the condensation funnel hasn't formed. But easily something could be. But there's no tornado warning in effect, and just got an update here. What do we got? Yeah. So this is a large wall cloud that's developing out here in western Pulaski County. And there's no tornado warning on it, but boy, that is very worrisome. Let's go back to the radar here, and I can do that on my computer. I'll go back to the radar. And do me a favor, Christopher, just keep your eye on that.
Okay.
I mean, I see a small little area right there.
Yeah.
Seems like a little appendage. Sometimes that's just scud clouds.
Oof. Let's see.
You know, I think can we zoom in a little bit more on that? I think, or are we maxed out on it?
Let's see, we can go a little more here.
Okay, that's good. It might take a second to adjust, but yeah, it's trying to find its focus
For
now.
what it's worth, Todd,
Yeah.
I just happened to look at observations at the airport in Little Rock, and there's a southwest wind. So you don't have the backing
good.
of the wind going into that. Normally, if you have a southeast wind, then that kind of gives it that extra oomph and ability to spin. But if you have a southwest wind just ahead of it, that can really cause it to limit itself. But there are areas that have a southeast wind right now. So,
Well, and if it makes a right turn, then it would be able to.
Yes, that's a good point.
Create some shear.
And if it takes a right turn, that would take it a little more into West Little Rock.
It sure would, yeah.
It is in an area that, you know, if it tried to strengthen right now, that, you know,
Yeah,
be a
so,
good thing, so
we got it there. And I don't see anything. Every now and then you get a little bit of a lowering, but that's definitely a wall cloud.
I'll say
there.
the rotation's trying to come together a little. I wouldn't say it's strengthened, but it's trying to come together a little more. Would you
Okay.
agree with that?
Yeah, this really does worry me because it is.
Right there, crossing out of Saline County now into Pulaski County.
Can you widen that out just a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. So let's zoom out just a little bit.
Just a little bit, Christopher. No, please stay with that. Let's not leave that camera, guys. Okay. We don't want to leave that camera right now. And I want everybody to know in Saline County, we're watching that circulation. It is still there, and it's going to go north of Benton. Okay? It's going to go north of Benton. It's near Lonsdale. We're watching that. That's the only tornado warning. But this one might be increasing. If it's not, let's zoom out a little bit because it's having a hard time finding a focus. Let's zoom out a little bit more, and it'll focus a little bit better. May also be my eyesight, to be honest with you. But that's the lowering there, and it's moving towards the northeast. So I think it's going to miss Little Rock, West Little Rock, barely, because it's moving towards the northeast. But that could put down something. There's no tornado warning on it, and I'm a little surprised just based on what I'm looking at on my laptop radar, Joel.
Yeah. And as you say that, our storm down in Hot Spring County may be trying to pick up a little bit more as it crosses over into Saline County.
Let's do this. Let's throw this into the middle box, if we can, guys, and go to Joel, because the one down towards Lonsdale might be trying to ramp up a little bit. So if we could throw that there, we can watch that here. Now go to Joel with that Lonsdale
All right, so I'm going to start zoomed out. This is moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. The storm down here near Lonsdale, it is just now about to cross out of Hot Spring County. So there's you can clearly see that hook right there. There's the Hot Spring, Saline County line. This is the eastern tip of Garland County. So looking at velocity, you can see just a little bit of a tighter couplet than we had just a few moments ago. That's moving toward the north and east. So Benton, we need you in your safe place. Lowest floor away from windows. This is a storm that earlier had a confirmed tornado down near DeRoche. And it may not be confirmed right now, but let's treat it as such because it may be trying to pick up again. Kentucky, 631. Benton, 634. Salem, 639. Bryant, 643. And then moving on into the metro now from there, Alexander 647, Shannon Hills at 651. Hopefully this does not pull itself back together, but we've got to watch this one closely. It's moving into the metro. And meanwhile, I want to also compare this to the storm north. You can see it also has a very clear hook on it, and you can see it there in the middle box there on the far left side of your screen. But when we look at it in terms of velocity, this has a tighter cup, maybe a slightly tighter couplet. I wouldn't call it that tight of a couplet though down near Lonsdale. it's strengthened from where it was a few moments ago. It has not reached the point it was when it was back at DeRoche. This is the storm that just crossed out of Saline County into Pulaski County. That rotation is broad. We want it to stay broad because the tighter it is, the more likely it is to produce a tornado. If it's broad, then you might get some damaging wind, but it's not as tight and not as capable of bringing a tornado to the ground. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully all of these weaken as they approach the metro. But again, you've got two storms there, both of those with clearly defined hooks. One of those crossing out of Hot Spring County into Saline County. Another one out in western Pulaski County now approaching the Lake Maumelle area and Pinnacle area. So we're going to continue to watch these closely. And Todd, I believe you have a little more information.
Yeah, just let's take that full screen, the downtown Little Rock camera at Ferndale's where it's directly over. So you're looking underneath this wall cloud is Ferndale. And it looks very ominous if you're watching this from Little Rock out towards the west. Yeah, I get it. That's very scary looking. I don't see anything extending to the ground. And we have a good picture of this on the radar too. Because it's so close to the radar. And then we have the visual. I don't see anything to the ground yet, but my goodness, that is a wall cloud going over near Chenal Mountain, just to the west of Chenal Mountain. It's directly over Ferndale. It'll be going over the Aleutian out there in western Pulaski County. It'll be going over Highway 10. It'll be going over Lake Maumelle here very shortly. It'll be moving up towards Natural Steps. It'll be moving up towards Roland in northwestern Pulaski County. But that's the wall cloud, and you're watching it live right now with the Arkansas Storm Team. There's Chenal Mountain. You see all the TV towers, and there's the lowering. I don't see anything coming down to the ground, thank goodness. Back behind that, that's some very heavy rain and possible small hail. There's a lot of wind with that too. But it's interesting how it's a flip right now where everything shows so well on the reflectivity, but the velocities aren't. It's interesting how that's evolving. And that's how everything looked very strong with the velocities, and now it's the other way around. All these hooks are on the reflectivity, so if you follow this on radar. But we're watching at any moment. There's no tornado warning in effect for Pulaski County. I want to make sure that's abundantly clear. But we have a low-hanging wall cloud that, with a storm, that doesn't seem to be we're going way too far. There's Pinnacle Mountain, by the way, right there. Sometimes these cameras can have a life of their own when you try to move them. They just kind of move on their own. But there, you see the lowering right there, and nothing imminent, but we have our eye on that. Let's push that back into one of those boxes there, that middle box, and we'll scan with the radar and look at this with the radar. I'm not sure if we can. I'm gonna have to take that off for just a little bit.
Go ahead and take radar. I've got it on the other box there. You should be.
Which box do we have that on?
So we've got that on the bottom. To the bottom box is the sky
okay, I
camera.
see it. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Christopher. So this is what we're looking at on the radar. I'm sorry, on the sky cam. This is what we've been looking at. It's very broad rotations, a low-hanging wall cloud, and nothing. It's crossing over Highway 10, Lake Maumelle, the Aleutian, the golf course out there, passing very close to that, but it's not enough for a tornado warning. But what is tornado warned is what's happening down here towards the south that we've been looking at on reflectivity and velocity. And when we look at this on velocity, Joel, it doesn't look like anything.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. When you look at this on reflectivity, and I can imagine what they did back in the 70s and 80s when they didn't have the velocity products there, right. But I would imagine all of these would have had tornado warnings on them. Right,
and that's the incredible thing with radar now, because, yeah, this is what all they would have back in, 20, 30, 40 years ago, was look at this, and I guarantee you a tornado warning would be issued for this.
And there is one now.
There is one, yeah, but you look at that, and we're close to the radar, so our confidence is quite high, but there might be something, but it's just with the velocity, the actual circulation, it's not impressive at all. And here's the other thing. If there was a tornado with that, I haven't checked social media yet, but it's in a highly populated area, and if there was a tornado, we'd hear about it. We'd see it all over social media. It'd be popping up in our text messages. We'd see it all over social media. So it's not right now, as far as we know, putting down a tornado, but it sure does look like it with the reflectivity. You say, goodness, that right there is a strong hook echo right in there, and then you look at the velocity. There's just hardly anything there. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that tornado. When does that expire?
the one down here in Saline County expires at 6:45. And by the way, that storm in western Pulaski County, so far it has struggled to pull itself together, but it is kind of heading in the general direction of northern Pulaski County. The National Weather Service in Little Rock is ready to make a move to their safe place if a warning is necessary, and the National Weather Service in Birmingham is on standby just in case a warning is necessary for northern Pulaski County. Then the Weather Service there would then take over and start issuing warnings.
That's weird.
It's just they're ready to go just in case.
And all this time I thought it was Memphis. That was.
I would have thought Memphis too.
Okay, but that's a discussion for another time. All right, I'm looking. Okay, so yeah, so Scott has the lowering, by the way, just to let you guys know. I don't know where his feed is, but what you see in the bottom left is, in my opinion, the structure of the storm in western Pulaski, the new tornado warning. All right, so the structure of the storm in western Pulaski County is bigger than, okay, they just put a tornado warning on it.
So that's for Maumelle, Mayflower. I'll get a track on that for you.
Yeah.
That is moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. That rotation is just strengthened just a little bit more. I'm going to turn it on velocity, and that's maybe the strongest it's been there. Now moving up toward Maumelle, and we'll make sure that we have that camera there. You can see it. Is that the tower cam on the bottom left corner?
Yeah, I'm zooming in right now.
All right, so this is approaching Pinnacle right now at 6:23, 6:32 Maumelle. So just minutes away. You need to be in the lowest floor away from windows if you live out near Pinnacle. Maumelle, this is crossing over Pinnacle Mountain basically right now. So Pinnacle, Maumelle 6:32, Blue Hill 6:37, Cato 6:46, Macon at 6:52 there in northern Pulaski County. Valonia, you're right on the edge of that polygon, Valonia. That would make it to your area at 6:59, Cabot 7:06, and Austin at 7:10. So I took it a little farther than the polygon there warrants that rotation. And by the way, friends in Valonia, Mayflower, I know that you have seen storms take this path time and time again, both in 2011 and 2014, but at the moment, this does not look anything like those storms did back in the early 2010s at the moment, but it is taking a similar track, and we need those same areas to take this seriously as if a tornado is trying to develop. I believe we're going to take things over to Todd now.
Yeah, so we have sirens going off in West Little Rock, but this tornado, this potential tornado, is going to skim the edge of West Little Rock and affect Maumelle. So I want especially Maumelle, everyone in Maumelle, take your tornado precautions. What we've got here, this is it right here. That's Scott Hollinger, who has this live, and that's from our tower cam on the bottom. Let's take Scott's feed and see if we can get him on the phone. I'll probably end up having to get that, but if we could take his picture full. So there's the lowering there. I don't know exactly where he's located, but that's the one in western Pulaski County. All right, so we got his feed, and then the one here, let's take this one full. That's the area that we'd have to take the bottom left. That's from downtown Little Rock. And again, that's very scary and ominous looking, yes. The sirens are going off, and you're looking at a wall cloud live right now. There's Pinnacle Mountain. I don't see anything yet to the ground, but if there's a tornado, sometimes the last thing you see is the condensation funnel. Look at that. I don't know if that's something right over Pinnacle Mountain. It looks like it's right on top of Pinnacle, but it could be offset a little bit behind it. Where's the rotation on the radar? Is that right over Pinnacle?
It just moved over Pinnacle Mountain, so it would be crossing over the Arkansas River. So that may be...
Is that a funnel?
I believe the rotation may actually be where you're standing, Todd. So it may have just crossed over. There's your lowest. So it's kind of, and that's Rattlesnake Ridge there, but that's off in the distance. So the lowering would be crossing over the Arkansas River right now.
Okay, so this is
heading into Maumelle.
Yeah, so that's it right there. Let's take that, just pan it to the right just a touch. I can do it if you're busy with stuff. Just a touch. Let's pan to the right. Okay, right there. Let's leave it right there. So, you got to watch that too, but especially in this area right in here. And so you're also looking at it down here. This is another vantage point of the same wall cloud. And it's a tornado warned storm for western Pulaski County. Maumelle, take your tornado precautions. It'll be crossing over I-40, over there on I-40 near the Mayflower exit there. I'm sorry, the Maumelle exit up towards Mayflower. I think it goes a little south of Mayflower. Near the bean fields is where this is going to pass over. Yell if you see anything, but I can't see anything extending to the ground. There could be something, but the condensation funnel doesn't fully mature and you can't see anything. Where there's a circulation on the ground, but you don't see anything, the condensed air up to the funnel. But this is going to stay mainly west of West Little Rock, all right? It will get areas out there towards Highway 10, as we've been tracking over there towards Lake Maumelle, near Robinson. Let's go over to Christopher. Christopher, just bring up his audio.
Have them pull up Scott's feed behind you, and
okay, let's go with this.
Look at that.
Let's go with that. All right, there's another view of it. I don't know exactly what angle we're looking at, but what do we got there?
Perhaps a lowering there, and this is he is looking just to the north of the storm, so looking on the northern part of that storm, and that is the inflow there. So wall cloud right there also on his feed too.
Call Scott.
Looks more ominous from this vantage point because you got the trees that are covering other vantage points showing what we're also looking at on that Skycam 2. And I'm going to go ahead and turn our Skycam just a bit as well, just to the right a little bit so we can see if we got anything. But yeah, Todd, this is another view there of that same storm looking from the north.
All right, we got Scott Hollinger on the phone right now. So you're seeing the bottom left right here. That's what we're looking at from downtown Little Rock. Tornado warning storm. Sirens going off now in West Little Rock, but we can tell if it's on the ground or not. We have Scott who's got his live feed right now. Let's go ahead, Scott.
Todd, I do not see ground contact right now. It is taking serious inflow coming into the storm. We can see the whole mesocyclone is rotating. It's the first time I've seen motion like this today. We did have a serious lowering a while ago over the hill, but this storm is headed directly into Maumelle. If you're in Maumelle, you need to take cover immediately.
Where are you?
Lightning. I'm sitting in the bean field just north of Maumelle, between Maumelle and Mayflower.
Okay, I know exactly where you are. I know I can see the ridge off in the distance, and it's coming right into. Okay, so you don't see the whole thing is spinning, but you don't see anything in contact with the ground.
I do not at this time. Nothing in contact with the ground, but it is coming into Maumelle, Todd.
All right, thank you so much, Scott. We're going to call you back and let me know if you see anything else.
All right, will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. All right, let's take that full the Simmons bank camera. This is our Dash E and cooling. Let's take that full. Okay, so now we're looking off. That's Riverdale down here to the bottom. We're looking off towards Maumelle. This is it right here. I don't see anything still. Let's pan a little bit more over to the right and widen out just a touch. It also helps if I get this desk a little bit out of the way and maybe stand over here. So we can look here. All right, that's good. I think we got that whole lowering covered. There's a tornado warning in effect for western Pulaski County. This goes up into southern Faulkner County, and you're looking at it live, the Arkansas Storm Team, and also right behind me over here, that's looking at it from the bean fields on I-40, looking from north to south at that same thing from our storm spotter, Scott Hollinger. And you're looking at it live from downtown Little Rock. I still don't see anything. I know it's a very scary situation, Little Rock. I understand it. Very intense situation. Sirens are going off, and you're watching it this live now, but this is not like March 31st. We don't have a big tornado sitting on the ground. We don't have that. Let's keep following this a little bit to the right. This is a very rare opportunity to see something like this, because a lot of times when we're tracking storms with wall clouds like this, the visibility is absolutely terrible because of the heavy rainfall. But we have an absolute clear picture of this lowering. That's heavy rain right in there. That's rain on the back side, and you see the lowering. It doesn't look ragged, but you've got to watch for anything that can suddenly, I mean, just like that, you can get a tornado to form. It doesn't take anything.
Your Benton might be trying to strengthen a little bit.
Okay.
Just don't want to forget that.
Can we put Max 2 in another, right there in the RDOT camera behind me? And Joel, can you show that? Because I want to follow that storm in Benton. And if you can zoom in on that one that's ramping up a little bit, and let's follow this one live.
So that's where I'm looking right there. I've got the pointer right there. It may be a little, it's just flaring up a little bit right now. You go on, Todd.
Okay, yeah, just please, I want everybody in Benton and Saline County to know we're here for you. We're not going storm team. And it's 6:31 on this Easter Sunday, and we have a tornado warning, northwestern Pulaski County going into southern Faulkner County. This is the wall cloud that we have live. We have on the middle box behind me is Scott Hollinger, who's on I-40 going towards, I think he's going towards Maumelle.
It's a new tornado warning for this storm coming out of Benton. It's issued all the way up to Little Rock.
Okay,
downtown.
so this is another tornado warning for Little Rock with the one coming out of Saline County. That storm does have a history of producing tornadoes. So we have 2 tornado warnings that we're continuing to watch. One in western Pulaski County, which you're watching live, and another one that Joel is tracking coming up I-30, which will be affecting all of the Little Rock metro area. So I want everybody in Little Rock to take your tornado precautions now. Do not panic. If there's a tornado, we will know about it very shortly. It's moving into a highly populated area. So at this time, what I'm trying to tell you is that this is radar indicated. This is not a confirmed tornado. If you go to your safe windows, the overwhelming odds you will be just fine. All right? This is a tornado warning for the entire Little Rock metro area. There are 2 tornado warnings. This one has a lowering, and at times it shows little appendages that could be trying to put down tornadoes or funnels. It has not, to the best of our knowledge, has not done so. And what Joel is doing in the upper left-hand corner of your screen is the next, once this one moves away and out of our sight, we'll continue to follow it, but the next circulation is on I-30, on the north side of I-30 near Benton, Riverdale area, and there's North Little Rock and Maumelle over here. What you see in the middle box behind me is Scott Hollinger on that, looking at that same thing from I-40 up towards the bean fields. See that lightning strike out ahead of the wall cloud? There's the lowering. It's so far off in the distance, and let's zoom in a little bit more. Very difficult to tell if there's something on the ground, but we need to act as if it is on the ground. So if you're watching us from southern Faulkner County, Joel, keep his mic up. Keep Joel's mic up. Just name some of the places that need to be sheltered right now.
Yeah, so right now, Benton,
County.
Bryant, Salem, that rotation, I'd say some of the strongest wind is out along Highway 5 out north and west of Benton near the Kentucky area. That rotation is not tight rotation. We're looking up in the top left corner of your screen is the area that I'm talking about there near Kentucky. And that whole area is moving, that area of possible rotation. I think the rotation is not as tight as it once was, but moving north and east along Interstate 30 roughly. So that would put it near Salem, 639, Bryant, 643, Alexander, 648, Mableville, 654, Baseline, 701, Oak Forest, 704, Little Rock, downtown at 708. Again, this is not a confirmed tornado on the ground, but it is rotation, and it is a storm that had history of producing a tornado, we believe, down near DeRoche in Hot Spring County. So we're keeping a close watch on that. And Todd, I want to also get another track on this storm that you were talking about up here near Maumelle. Does not look as strong. Moving northeast, though, toward Blue Hill, 639, Cato, 649, Olmsted, 654, Macon, 657, Otto at 702, Funston, 704, and Mountain Springs at 711. So right. Again, those area of rotations there, those 2 pockets of rotation, not incredibly tight, but Joel, still some strong wind most likely with that, Todd.
Scott's shooting straight up into some circulation. He's right underneath it, I think.
Is he in the one? He's in the one in Pulaski County, correct?
Yes, he's the one in western Pulaski.
He's on 40, or off 40, right?
Yeah, so he's directly underneath it. So let's try to get him. Is he trying to get through? Yeah, he is. So let's stay with that. Stay manipulating the radar there, Joel. Yeah. And we're going to get Scott on the phone. So he's right underneath it. That's the lowering right there.
This Scott.
Go ahead, Scott. We got your live feed up. Are you directly underneath some rotation?
Todd, it just came over. It's crossing the interstate right now. It is not on the ground, but it is still rotating. We had rotation in the air, and no one's out of danger yet on this storm. We've got southwesterly winds crossing the interstate right now.
Okay.
Just to the south of the Maumelle exit.
South of the Maumelle exit. So you're
yes, sir.
South of the bean fields. We see it in the distance. With our sky camera, what are we looking at on your camera right now?
Okay, we're headed south. It's the rotation leading into the storm.
Okay, thank you so much for your report, Scott. So we can confirm now that it did not touch down, the western Pulaski County storm. I want to put that in the box. Let's put that full screen. It is in the box. I want to take this full with that next tornado warning coming up. Let's take Max 2 full behind me. And Joel, I think so that's one tornado warning. Let's get to this one down here in Saline County, right there. Let's stop that near Benton. This is coming up. There's some rotation. It's not very strong. Salem, take your tornado precautions. My brother, take your tornado precautions. Bryant, along Highway 5 Northwest, coming into the Otter Creek area. Alexander, take your tornado. Alexander, Mableville at about 6:56. Cloverdale around 7 o'clock. This rotation is not like what we saw earlier, but it's rock. Baseline 704, Sherwood about 720. Tornado sirens are going off all over North Little Rock and Little Rock for this particular storm. Where are we going?
Christopher,
Christopher, let's stay here, but bring his audio up. Go ahead, Christopher.
Actually, I've got a wall cloud on one of the traffic cameras here coming through. This is looking off of the RDOT headquarters camera.
Which computer is that on?
Zoom computer. Yeah, pull up the Zoom computer, and then right under the RDOT logo on the upper left side.
Let's take that full for just a second.
You should be able to see that wall cloud or that lowering right. Let's see.
It's right over here.
Yes, right over there.
Which storm is this? This is
the Benton storm.
Okay, so there's the lowering. That's what's coming into Little Rock. That's why all the sirens are going off in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Lakewood, and all those areas that people are texting me. Thank you so much for letting me know. But it's just to the right of the camera. I don't see anything on the ground. I've seen stronger rotation today. We just had a tornado warning storm go through western Pulaski County, and to the best of our knowledge and from our trackers from Scott, it did not touch down, but it came close. He was right underneath the circulation. You watched that live. So now this one is coming in. Let's go back to the radar. Let's go back to Max 2, I believe we had behind me. There we are. So Joel.
Yep.
All right, there it is. It's staying north of the interstate. There's Benton and there's Bryant. It's going to come up and affect Otter Creek, okay? So Otter Creek, near the outlets, there's Bryant, there's Salem. It's going to cross over Lawson Road. It's going to cross over Colonel Glenn Road, Highway 5 out there in western Pulaski County, Crystal Valley Road. There's South Shackelford. So there's Sibley Hole right there along Interstate 30, over there off Baseline, and then up into the greater Little Rock area. So there's Colonel Glenn, there's Lawson Road, as I said, Beauchamp over there. So that circulation is coming up. Avila, I believe, is another name of the town that's been hit several times, and it's coming straight into the Little Rock metro area. With the angle that Joel has just drawn here with that arrow, it's going to most likely follow that path, which would put it very close to the Big Rock interchange. So I think this is going to come up right along Highway 5. I think it's going to come up there towards, what is that, Highway 5, Colonel Glenn Road, right there where the Metroplex is. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Canis Road over there. You have all those car dealerships over there too, off Colonel Glenn Road, off the exit Top Golf. That's where I think that this is going to go, and near the Big Rock interchange. On the bottom left, that's the wall cloud. That's the other tornado warned storm up towards the north.
Todd, I actually just finished. I turned it over because that one got rain wrapped now. So this is looking directly on the bottom towards that storm down there towards Bryant.
This one is Bryant?
That's Bryant right there.
Thank you so much, Christopher. That's moving towards the northeast, and to the best of our knowledge has not produced a tornado as we follow that live. Let's go back to the southern storm, and that's what you're looking at live now on our camera, is the circulation coming up along I-30, just to the north side of I-30. There's Benton. Thank you so much, Joel, for doing this. There's Mulberry-Salem Road, Scott-Salem Road, Spring Hill Road. It's going to get awfully close to Baseline on the western end of Baseline Road, going to come up Crystal Valley Road, Meadow Springs, there's Lawson Road, there's Pritchard Mill, that area along I-430, all right? So there's I-430. It's very tough to see because it's red.
I do want to zoom out just a little bit and try to make a loop of this, and I just want to point out, and I want your opinion on this, is this trying to take more of that northerly, is it trying to take a deviant motion, if you will? So
yeah, it's like what Joel said.
Could that maybe weaken some? I hope.
If it starts to move left, if that begins to move left, it doesn't tap into the available wind shear. It doesn't take advantage of it all. So it would lose its intensity and its rotation. Very clearly seen there in the reflectivity. But if it starts to move, if it turns right, it will take advantage of more wind shear and begin to violently spin. Right now, it may be trying to hook towards the north, which would decrease the rotation, but it's still there. Zuber Road, Congo, Sparks Road, Lawson Road, and as I've been telling, there's David O'Dodd. These are all very familiar places right along Colonel Glenn Road. We know all those car dealerships that are over there. And we also know Topgolf. Everybody knows that location along I-430 right here. Coming up the Canis-Shackelford Road area, there's North Rodney Parham Road. And I want to calm everybody, and I want you to know there is zero confirmation that this is on the ground. We do not have any confirmation that this is on the ground. Let me check my social media feed real quick. And if it was on the ground, we would know about it, right? I mean, I see so many pictures of wall clouds. Thank you for helping us. You don't see anything on debris, do you?
I don't see anything on debris or any reason to believe that that's on the ground at the moment. I think it's capable of producing some damaging wind, absolutely.
Yep.
But at the moment, everything I've seen has been mostly encouraging, except for, you know, its location.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So in the bottom box there, you're seeing it live, the lowering, and we don't see a tornado. I see an enhanced area of wind coming into southern Pulaski County. It's still in Saline County, Crystal Lake Road, Hilltop. So if this is indeed moving a little bit further and hooking a little bit further towards the left, towards the north a little bit, then it's going to take it further and deeper into West Little Rock. So you're talking about areas west of I-430 along Chenal. You're talking about areas around Highway 10 and Cantrell west of that. You're talking about Rawling Road. You're talking about Taylor Loop Road, a pocket of high winds and a decreasing tornado potential, but there is a tornado potential. But when you see these trying to pivot to the left a little bit, it starts to lose some of its spin. But if it starts to turn towards the right, it may be able to spin. And as Joel so well put it, it might be taking a little leftward jog, and that's what we're hoping. Not because I want it to go into West Little Rock, no, it's because that means that it's just a thunderstorm with some gusty winds and hopefully not doing damage of a tornado. The other thing that we have going for us is that we will have a clear visual of this coming up on our camera facing southwest out of downtown Little Rock. So this is one of those situations, again, where we have to watch a potential. This is different from what we saw March 31st, where we knew it was on the ground. We knew on March 31st there was a high risk. The atmosphere was way more conducive than what we have now. But as we always say, it takes one. And Joel, to me, this is not very well put together.
No.
The ingredients like we saw on March 31st, not there.
Nope.
So we're close to the radar north of Little Rock, which gives us even more confidence of what we're saying. We're further away from the radar, you can't see at ground level, but we're able to with the radar, and we're able to actually see what's happening with the camera. So Christopher, thank you for following that on that camera. What you're seeing here is from Scott, I believe. That's West Little Rock. He's at the Big Rock interchange, so he's going south on I-430 to intercept this, all right? So that's obviously what Scott's doing right there, because that is that's the Bowman Road exit, the Shackelford exit, I should say, and Bowman, that he's coming, and the Arkansas Heart Hospital is on the right that he's coming up on, and he's heading due south towards Colonel Glenn Road. So there's still a tornado-warned storm over here. There's still a tornado-warned storm here going up towards Valonia, but right there, but I don't see any circulation that's imminent right now. Just want to tell you in Valonia, there could be some small, very brief tornado, but it's very, very doubtful right now, but still, I want you to stay sheltered. Let's go back into the Little Rock storm. Christopher, let's bring up his mic. What do you got, Christopher?
So I've got some pictures coming in from viewers into the Benton area. This is on Max 3, if you'd like to pull that up.
If you could put that in the upper left-hand box, guys. I don't want to get away from radar.
Brandon Lynn, this is from him there, but still got a really good view of it now, Todd, on our Skycam, looking down towards the south.
Yeah, all right. So if you guys can get pictures up there from Max 3, let's take that bottom camera full. And as it gets closer, we now can look at that bottom camera full that's looking southwest into the storm that's coming up Interstate 30 and is getting ready to move into the Otter Creek area. So you see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, that's there from Brandon Lynn. That's the wall cloud, I believe, there in downtown Benton. And then you see Scott Hollinger in the middle box. That's on I-430 going down towards Otter Creek. Can we take the bottom box from downtown Little Rock full? There we go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. This is the lowering heading into Little Rock. On radar, it's not completely put together. It is not presenting itself like it did on March 31st. And I know many of you are so scared right now. I understand that, and I want to tell you that while there is a tornado warning in effect right now, I don't see one on the ground. That's what we're here to do. We're here to tell you what's going on and what's not going on. And what I don't see is a tornado at this very moment, but one could form That's why a tornado warning is in effect. And so far today, we have had some confirmed tornadoes, but we haven't seen anything like what we saw March 31st. And let's pray it stays that way on this Easter Sunday. You see these, it's a ragged looking lowering, ragged in places. That's coming up out of Saline County. We have a fantastic visual which makes this so different from what we've seen in past storms where it's obscured by heavy rainfall. So here you are. Thank you for trusting us in this situation. Our team of meteorologists, the Arkansas Storm Team, Fox 16 KARK coming together, and we're providing you with the best coverage we possibly can to tell you what's happening and what's not happening. There is a wall cloud. There is not a tornado that we know of right now. And to the best of our knowledge, there is not a tornado at this time. But there is a wall cloud, and it can produce a tornado at a very small moment in time. It can do that. So stay sheltered. Charge your electronic devices. Let's go back to the radar now and keep that. Let's go back to Max 2. So I don't know if they're even going to issue another tornado warning on that storm towards the north, Joel. Do you think that they're going to?
I think it's weakened quite a bit. I think we're in good shape with that one. I'm going to zoom out and go down a little farther south with this storm.
There it is.
Coming up out of Saline County. There is still at least some very strong wind. Every time I think it's trying to tighten up a little bit, it looks like it's having a tough time doing so. And let's hope it just falls apart as it continues to approach Little Rock.
And that new scan that just came in still maintains barely any rotation with it.
It's still quite the hook. Again, if you're looking at it just at rain mode, you would think that it's
you would think definite tornado.
Yeah, absolutely ominous view, I'm sure, looking out west from I-30 in southwest Little Rock.
Absolutely. I know the sirens are going off. It's a very scary situation, but we're going to track this mile by mile all the way through Little Rock and West Little Rock.
Hey, Todd.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's bring up Christopher's mic.
Go ahead and bring up the full camera on you. I've panned to the right just a bit, and you can see a little bit more lowering.
Okay, let's go. Take that full screen.
Right in that area. So the wall cloud is, if you look towards the water tower, on top of that area, but then
so
back there.
The water tower back here.
And then more towards the right, we just saw some lowering a second ago, but it's right there.
This over here, this on the far right side?
Yes, that right there.
Yeah.
That's where we were watching. I was watching a few clouds try to come down, but again, not on the ground or anything, but I think if there is going to be something to spin up on this or something to rotate on this, I should say, it's going to be in this area.
Okay. Let's throw that back into the middle or the bottom box. Thank you, Christopher. Just keep watching that. Thank you very much. We'll stay with this. Let's stop this for just a second. You see the motion of this. It's going to go right over the Big Rock interchange, all right? It's going to go right over the Arkansas Heart Hospital. It's going to go over Shackelford Crossings right there on I-40, or I-430, along I-430 just to the west. So we're talking about Chenal Embassy Suites over there on Chenal. You've got Purple Cow. That's where this is going to cross over, very close to that location. It's going to stay east of the Promenade in West Little Rock, although very heavy rain and small hail likely and some very strong winds. But I think it's going to go right up towards there's I-630 right here, the Big Rock interchange, and then it crosses over 430, probably somewhere between Rodney Parham and Cantrell. That's where it's going to cross over I-430, somewhere between Rodney Parham and Cantrell Road. That would put it in the Colony West, the Sturbridge subdivision, those areas that were devastated a couple of years ago. But this is not, to the best of our knowledge, on the ground. With that said, we need to act as if it is on the ground and just take those tornado precautions. We're all going to get through this. No matter what, we're going to get through this together. The sirens, I know the kids are crying. It's a horrible situation. I understand that, and I wanted to give you the times of arrival, and I'm going to start to sound the all clear as soon as it passes a location, just like Saline County, Benton and Bryant. It's past you now, all right? Little Rock at 7:04. What time is it right now? 6:51. So I think it comes in, and that's what you're looking at right here. Okay, we don't see anything on the ground. We don't see anything on the ground. 7:07 in North Little Rock. Park Hill in North Little Rock at 7:09. So we go back in. Let's look at this again. I don't. The radar's right here. So I just don't see anything that is showing a circulation that would be making it to the ground. We're looking at the base level here. There may be some more rotation up towards the top, up higher, but I don't see it reaching the ground right now. Joel, what do you have?
Yeah, I can agree with you. I'm just looking at this. I don't see any area that I can pinpoint that would say that there might be, you know, a tornado. I think that there might be some damaging wind out here, but I just don't see a couplet. I see some very strong wind at this point. You know, if I was looking at this on reflectivity mode, which is how hard it's raining mode, I would say maybe obviously right in this area where the hook is, but it's just not organized enough. And that's good for us. That's great news, you know, but we're going to continue to track it. Still a tornado warning. The storm is still capable of producing a tornado. So far, it does not appear to have done so since it was in Hot Spring County. I believe just before it got to the Jones Mill area there, 270, that was when it was at its strongest. But now it seems to have weakened quite a bit. But Little Rock, I still think we need to be in our safe place, lowest floor, away from windows, in a room surrounded by other rooms, a closet, a hallway perhaps. Again, we're in a site-built home, not a mobile home. But again, this is a storm that's moving right up into the southwest side of Little Rock, out near 430. It's going to be kind of coming up right over the outlet malls and again out toward Colonel Glenn Road, Todd.
Yeah. Joel, I want to stay with Max too. Great job tracking that. Let's go back to the velocity. Cooper Orbit Road, you got Canis Road over here, the Parkway Place subdivision, St. Charles, there's Henson Road up here, there's Chenal Parkway, you got Pebble Beach Road, Montvale, Henson, all that area. I think it stays barely to the east, barely, and you see it live here. This, we just got a report that Scott Hollinger is at, there's that Scott's feed right there on the left? At Topgolf. Okay, so now you're seeing underneath here too. He's at Topgolf, and he just said that he had extremely high winds. What were his words? Winds at my back, strong inflow. So there's a lot of motion here, a lot of wind with this, but no tornado. So Canis Road, coming up towards north, there's Henson, 430, there's Aldersgate Baptist Hospital right here. So I think it's going to go between, let's say, you know, Bowman and Chenal and Baptist Hospital. So that, I think that's where this is going to go, and closer to the Big Rock. There's 430 north and south right there, West 36th Street. There's John Barrow Road. There's West Markham, and as we were telling you, Cherry Laurel.
Just got a new scan.
Okay, let's see. Still no couplet. That is imminent. As we look live, there's no tornado. Still no tornado. We're looking at two different angles of this wall cloud. There's Capitol Hill Boulevard there near the Parkway Place subdivision on Canis Road. There's Gamble Road, which is behind the Lowe's. There's St. Charles Boulevard. There's South Bowman near Arkansas Stadium. There's Evergreen. It's not raining in this area, so it's a rain-free base right there. Can you go back to reflectivity? It's not even raining there, Joel.
Yeah.
So that's scary in itself. You get it rain-free, and then you're going to get hit with a lot of wind. All right, so there's a lot of wind that you're going to get hit with as this comes through the Big Rock interchange, and I think that you're going to see power outages right along there and right in that same area that you know, 10 Fitness over there on 430, Trellis Square. There's I-430. You've got Breckenridge. I think you're not going to have, you may not have a tornado. There's a tornado warning in effect, but you're going to have winds that could knock out power. Nothing showing up on debris. There's the rotation.
I am curious. I'm just going to pull up hail mode really quickly. I don't see that a whole lot. So
yeah, the atmosphere, there's not a whole lot of instability, to be honest with you.
That's good news there. Let's go back to radar.
Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's get a little wider perspective.
Have they canceled the tornado? They canceled the tornado for Little Rock proper, and look, the tornado, the polygon for the northernmost storm there is still there.
That's interesting.
That rotation might have strengthened a little bit up north
we'll follow that.
North of the Air Force Base.
Let's go back to Little Rock and see what's going on exactly. Well, keep that in the screen too. So they have removed and replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning. Told you we'd get all through this. But you still need to stay sheltered, okay? You need to stay sheltered because there are high winds. Just the fact that somebody removed a tornado warning in an office, pushed a button or two, doesn't remove the threat for high winds. So please stay sheltered. But we've been able to track this for you mile by mile, the lowering there, and you're looking at it live. You go outside and you look at that, and I know how scary that is. But we can tell you right now, there's no tornado warning in effect for the Little Rock metro area. There is one in effect on the northwest side of Little Rock, especially up towards the north. So Little Rock, let's stay with those pictures, and if we see something that jumps out at us, we'll let you know. But what will they do with this? Do they issue? They have not issued a new tornado warning. Joel, go ahead and take this, because I'm not sure if they're going to reissue or what they're going to let that one go or what.
Yeah, so this is an area, this is a little more rotation here right on the Pulaski-Faulkner County line. Here's Otto. That, I believe, is Highway 107 that runs north and south. That's south of Bologna. So there's Funston, Otto. Yeah, that's 107. That rotation there is kind of picked up a little bit more on the north side of Davis Ranch Road there, where it kind of gets closer to Faulkner County there. So that rotation is right there. And we don't have a tornado warning. Well, we do have a tornado warning on it, but it's getting ready to cross out of the tornado warning polygon. So this may be a new tornado warning that might need to be issued if this were to sustain itself. Look, it's got quite the hook there, so it's still capable. That is the area. If there was a tornado with that storm there, it's going to try to drop one maybe right there along Highway 107 where it crosses out of Pulaski County into Faulkner County. And I'm going to put a track on that as if they might issue a tornado warning downstream of it. That would take it up into the extreme northwest corner of Lonoke County and eventually over into White County. So it would cross over Highway 5 north of Cabot, well north of Cabot there, into kind of close to where it crosses over in Highway 5 crosses into White County. Mountain Springs at 705, Barrentine Corner 718, Beebe at 724, McRae at 731. Joy at 734, Crosby at 741, Searcy at 746, and Kensett at 750 if this were to try to produce a tornado. And I think I want to zoom in a little closer, and we're going to look at velocity on this. We've got some rotation there that's pretty tight, and I think that might warrant a tornado warning that needs to be issued on downstream, because that's tightened a little bit more, and I think it's very possible that the National Weather Service has to issue a new tornado warning, and they just did. That is a brand new tornado warning now that has been issued for White County, northwestern Lonoke County, extreme southeastern Faulkner County. That does not include the city of Bologna, but areas south and east of Bologna. So that goes until 7:45. That is a brand new tornado warning on an area of rotation we were just looking at. That rotation has tightened, and I'm afraid that that is a very tight area of rotation right there near Piney Trail, Mountain Springs Road. I want to look at debris and see if I can't tell if there's a tornado on the ground with it, but it is certainly some strong tight rotation. Ballard Road, northwestern Lonoke County, West Cricket Road. Indian Head Road, we've got 16th Section Cemetery Road. That's in northwestern Lonoke County. You need to be in your safe place. Ballard Road, West Cricket Road. I think I just said that. Harris Lane, Morrison Road, Buddy Morrison Road, Lewisburg Road, and then up into White County, Buddy Morrison Road, Pleasant Ridge Road, Anderson Farm Road. So again, that strong rotation right there to the south of Ballard Road, and it's taking it north and east. It's going to, I believe right now it is in Faulkner County, and it's about to cross over into Lonoke County. So there's Faulkner County right there, Bologna, Funston right there. There's the rotation. It's probably crossing over into Lonoke County, and then eventually would cross over Highway 5 just south of the White Lonoke County line and take it up into White County eventually. So that is an area of rotation that continues to move northeast. I'm going to put a longer track on it once again here, taking it up towards Searcy. That would be around the Searcy area at 746. Christopher?
I just want to say, Joe, we may have a traumatic debris signature. I want to pull up here on the Zoom computer and do an analysis on this with you real quick. But again, looking at this storm, let's see if I have it pulled up correctly. There we go. Perfect. And I just want to show you on our debris detection here on this specific storm that's coming in just south of El Paso, going to be crossing on Highway 5 there, but here is my mouse right there. You see it. I'm moving it, and I'm going to turn it towards the debris signature, and there it is, a ball right there, overlapping also where those winds are as well. So that is the latest scan that we are looking at. I'm going to back it up just a bit and show you the newest scan, and we may have a tornado on the ground.
A tornado on the ground.
Yeah, I think so too.
We have a lowering.
There it is, right there, that debris signature. So Joel, I'm going to let you do more analysis there, but possibly a confirmed tornado that's coming in just from Ward, BB, McRae. Get into your tornado shelter right now.
So this has crossed over. It's crossing out of extreme southeastern Faulkner County. There's our debris signature right there. So this is the Faulkner-Lonoke County line. Here's Highway 5 there north of Cabot. So there's Mountain Springs north of Cabot. This is going to be crossing over Highway 5 there near the White-Lonoke County line. So again, this is not just a possible tornado. This is a tornado that is confirmed on the ground, appears to be doing damage.
And Todd,
and
Joel, I'm sorry, they're going to be putting a confirmed tag on it right now.
Okay, and it's still rotation there, strong rotation. It may be trying to weaken a little bit. I don't want us to get too, let's treat this as if it is a tornado on the ground. Looking at debris mode, that is a large debris signature right there, the most significant debris signature I've seen all day. I believe that we indeed do have a tornado on the ground. This is right there. Yep, that is some strong rotation. West Lewisburg Road, West Cricket Road, Ballard Road. That's going to be crossing over Highway 5 right near the White-Lonoke County line, or areas just south of the creek there where 319 and Highway 5 intersect. You need to be in the lowest floor away from windows. Can't stress this enough. You need to be in the lowest floor away from windows in a room surrounded by other rooms, a room without windows, a closet, a hallway, maybe a bathroom, but if that bathroom has windows, it's not a safe place. This is a tornado on the ground doing damage right now near West Lewisburg Road, Indian Lake Road, Ballard Road. Going to be crossing over Highway 5. It's going to probably cross over into White County eventually and take it up toward Buddy Morrison Road, John Smith Road, and Highway 64. Todd?
All right, let's go Zach. I'm sorry, Zach Hardcastle, you got a tornado on the ground. Go ahead, Zach. Hold on. Go ahead.
Big stovepipe on the ground right now, just to my left.
All right. Which feed are you, upper left? Is that his feed?
Yep, on the top.
Let's take that full screen. That's the confirmed tornado. You're looking at it live. Can we take that full screen? It's coming up on El Paso. I don't see it right now on your feed.
Yep, I'm not turned towards it yet.
Okay, but you can confirm a large stovepipe tornado.
Yes, tornado on the ground right now on stream.
Let's get next two in the top left, or get it in one of those boxes.
Yeah, your feed just froze up a little bit. Keep his feed up there. If we can double box this, if we have that ability. But okay, so your feed is frozen. Just tell us what you see.
A large tornado on the ground right in front of me. It's heading right at me, so I do have to get out of here.
Okay. Do what you need to do to stay safe. But
yeah, it's literally 200 yards to my right.
All right, your feed is locked up.
It's but there is a tornado on the ground doing damage. I did see debris getting lofted into the air.
Can you give me a location where you're at?
Yes, Dollar General on Highway 5 on the intersection of it's Highway 5 intersection. I'm not sure what the other intersection is.
318, I believe.
318.
319.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. If you can get
he needs to get out of there.
Get out. Just stay safe. These pictures aren't worth it. Your life. Go get safe, Zach.
Yep, we're good.
All right, stay on the phone with me. Joel, keep on going.
Yeah. All right, so again, that's he is right there on Highway 5 near 319. This is going to be crossing over in that same general area, so we need to have Zach in a safe... Yeah, all right. So again, if you live in that far northern tip of Lonoke County, you need to be in your safe place. This is crossing over Highway 5. And it's going to be crossing over into White County any minute now, crossing the creek, I believe, there near Buddy Morrison Road. Can't stress this enough. Brock Road. Once you in your safe place. Again, this is a large tornado on the ground. As you hear Zach Hardcastle there, his video, I believe, is in the top left corner of your screen there. So we're going to continue to have that there. But again, that rotation, and we believe it's still on the ground. I'm going to pull up debris mode and show you that is... I believe that is your debris signature right there. It may be even bigger than it was when it touched down. We believe it touched down there in the southeastern corner of Faulkner County, south and east of Valonia. And you can see that debris signature right there in that spot. I sure hope Zach got out of the way there.
Joel?
That is the spot that we're talking. Is that a debris ball? I would say that's
Yeah,
that is a debris ball. Yeah. So that's on the ground, crossing over now over into White County. Let's get a new track on that right now.
Is the stream still frozen?
Yep.
Dang it.
Okay, you're on the air right now.
All right. So this is moving northeast.
Sorry.
So let's get again.
I'm trying to get the stream going, but
All right.
I can't. I'll send you video.
We'll get to him here in just a moment. We just want to make sure he's safe. That's our top priority there, and you at home as well. Barentine Corner, 718, lowest floor, away from windows. You need to cover up. Let's go over our safe places here. You need to find your safe place. Sturdy structure, center of the lowest floor of your home. No windows. You want to cover up, use blankets, pillows, perhaps even a helmet. Athletes wear a helmet to protect their heads during sporting events, and you at home could use the same type of helmet to protect your head from flying debris. This is a tornado that is on the ground doing damage, now crossing over the county line out of Lonoke County into White County. We still need you in your safe place along Highway 319 near Highway 5 there. Now crossing over into White County. Stay put until you're given the all clear. Let's go over the non-safe places you should avoid. You don't want to be in a car or truck. A mobile home. You don't want to be in a mobile home. You want to be in the lowest floor of a site-built home, away from windows. A hallway, a closet, maybe a bathroom. But if that bathroom has a window, it is not a safe place. You need to be in a room surrounded by other rooms, a small, compact room preferably, like a closet, a hallway, and stay there until you're given the all clear. Again, that is a debris ball right there. You see it on radar. Right there on 319 east of the Highway 5 intersection. And if you're on Highway 64, know anyone who's driving on 64 between Highway 5 and Highway 67, they need to get off the road, find a sturdy structure, and get inside and get into a small compact room, because that tornado right there, you can see it. It is that pink circle right there in the bottom left part of the screen. That is going to be crossing over Highway 64. And I'm going to zoom in here and show you exactly where that might happen. It's going to be crossing over 64 just south of Brock Road, right there where Gillum Road comes out at 64. It might be a little farther west of there, but somewhere in that general area here, we're talking about southern White County, specifically southwestern White County between El Paso and Beebe. Along Highway 64, near Buddy Morrison Road, we believe it's probably closing in now on Highway 64. There's John Smith Road, Buddy Morrison Road, where it kind of dead ends, it looks like. That's where that rotation is now. Not rotation, confirmed tornado. Let's go back and look at debris mode. Yep, we believe that tornado is still on the ground. Let's look at velocity. It looks like it's weakened a little bit in terms of velocity. That may be good news. Let's hope that is the case. Either way, there still appears to be debris lofted in this storm. And we need to be treating this as a tornado that is on the ground, doing damage. It has already crossed over Highway 5 and Highway 319. Let's get in here just a little bit closer. This is going to be approaching Antioch. Again, this is moving northeast. There's Brock Road. I believe that's Randy Ford or Sandy Ford Road. Let's look at that. Sandy Ford Road right here. Lowest floor away from windows. This might be trying to weaken. I hope that's the case, but we cannot afford to ignore this and treat it as if it's just any other storm. It's not. It has had history of producing a tornado, and we need you in the lowest floor, away from windows, small, compact room, in a room surrounded by other rooms, away from windows. Brock Road, Sandy Ford Road, Antioch, Cordell Road. Probably going to be mostly west of Swinging Bridge Road here, but it may be crossing over Highway 64 very soon here in southern White County. I'm going to look again at velocity. Still seeing that rotation right in there, right where our debris signature is. We believe that is still a tornado on the ground doing damage near the White Lonoke County line in southwestern White County. Has it weakened some? Maybe. But we cannot afford to ignore this or treat it like it's any other storm now. It has history of doing damage. We have seen it, the debris signature on radar. And even though that debris signature is no longer as pronounced, and I'm so happy to see that, we still need to treat this as if it might be trying to produce another one. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit mainly to look at, see what its inflow looks like, to see if there's any other storm south of it that's blocking its inflow. Right now, there's not really another storm south of it, which means that it has the energy, or it has the fuel available for it to continue to try to produce as it tries to work its way northeastward toward McRae and Antioch, maybe areas north of Beebe. I would not want to be on Highway 67 between the White Lonoke County line and Searcy. I would stay off of Highway 67 or Interstate 57 now. They're between the White County line and Lonoke County line and the city of Searcy. I believe it's possible that if this tries to produce another tornado, and it may still be producing a tornado. I'm not saying that it's lifted for sure, but I'm seeing signs that maybe it's weakened. Antioch, and then maybe running parallel to Highway 67 and Interstate 57. So I want to go back in time and show you just moments ago, right there when it was over the intersection of 319 and Highway 5, you had that pink debris signature. Very telltale sign that that was on the ground. And then the pink signature went away. You can still see the hook. Let's look at velocity, and we'll want to check on rotation. It's broadened out a little bit, but we want to make, and I want to make sure that Zach is okay, Todd.
Yeah, and you haven't heard from me in a little. You stay on. You're doing a marvelous job. I'm trying to find out if he's okay.
We're trying to find out that he's okay.
I'm trying to find out if he's all right. I know.
All right, again,
yes,
Southern White.
He's good.
He's good. He's good. For everyone watching at home who may be concerned about Zach and maybe his family as well, we're told that he's fine.
This is what he just texted me. Yes, okay, bad damage.
Can we get Todd's mic up?
Yeah, he says, yes, bad damage. Not terribly bad, but I can't see further down the road. Power lines out. He said when he was on the phone, he saw the roof of a Dollar General store being ripped off. It was a stovepipe tornado, confirmed. Now, as Joel, keep doing, you're doing a great job. Go ahead.
All right, so let's look at velocity once again. You can still see there's rotation. This is not as strong as it once was, but right here, you can still see where the greens and reds come together. Highway 64 is right there. Antioch, maybe we got lucky, but some friends down the road have not been so lucky, clearly. We believe that there's severe damage to a Dollar General, perhaps, in the northwestern corner of Lonoke County, north of Cabot. This same area of rotation is going to be approaching Antioch. So Antioch, and I believe Pat Walker would be in that general area. We might want to check on him and see if what he's seeing, what he's hearing. But let's look once again at velocity. That rotation has broadened out to a point where I cannot definitively say where the tornado would be now. That's good news. That's encouraging. But we still want you in the lowest floor of your home, away from windows, until this completely passes. Another encouraging sign, if you'll notice this red box here, that's the tornado warning box. It was once pink when it was confirmed. It is now red. So that we believe that this has weakened enough that it is no longer considered confirmed. That doesn't mean get out of your safe place. You still have a tornado warning because this is Doppler radar indicated rotation now. It was once confirmed. We need to treat this like it could still try to produce another tornado any moment as it works its way northeast toward Antioch. Here's Highway 31 from Antioch. I believe that goes up toward Mount Vernon. Highway 31 is right there. So let's get a new track on this once again. And I want to make sure that I've got the speed correct on that. That's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. And it's approaching Antioch. And it would eventually work its way towards Searcy and Morning Sun and Higginson and Garner. So here's a list and some ETAs there. Antioch 7:20, Garner at 7:32. So Antioch, you've got 5 minutes before, if there's a tornado, it would be on top of you. Garner 7:32, Morning Sun at 7:39, Searcy at 7:42, Kensett at 7:47, Judsonia at 7:51, and Providence at 7:56. I want to go back here and look again. This looks like it's weakened some more. So that is excellent news. I'm going to look again at debris mode. Yeah, you could clearly tell. I'm going to go back in time. You could clearly tell there's where our tornado, I believe that was our first indication that this was on the ground in southeastern Faulkner County. It crossed over the county line into Lonoke County, went right over the intersection of Highway 5 and Highway 319, I believe it was. And then it looks like it may have lifted as it crossed over. I can't remember the name of that creek there that forms the border of White and Lonoke County, but I believe it crossed over that, and then it looks like it's trying. This looks a lot weaker. That's good news. But friends, let's please stay in our safe place in case this tries to regenerate a new tornado. We know that it has had a history of doing damage, and so we need to treat this, again, not like any other run-of-the-mill storm. This is one that has had history of producing damage. Do we have any new information, Todd? Christopher, it looks like you do.
I will say, Todd, real quick, I want to show you, I've got an update on Zach's stream there. We can go ahead and take Todd. There it is. The tree's down. You got fire department and power lines down right along the road. Again, take up Todd there. Put the top box in behind Todd.
Yeah, let's put that top box go full. Top box go full. That's the 319 and Highway 5. He says trees are down. There's roof damaged, but this was a confirmed tornado that just went through. That is Joel, you've been just a fantastic job tracking this confirmed tornado. Let's just pray that nobody's been hurt by this, but he's sending video of that tornado. We were trying to bring it to you live, but it was obviously, I think some cell towers took a hit while he was covering it, which made it almost impossible. There's Zach, but he said he had to call 911 because he thought there could have been injuries on the road, but he said right now he doesn't see any injuries, but 911 he had to call. That's why we lost him and couldn't get a hold of him. But go ahead, I just want to show you the damage. We're going to be getting video of that tornado in just a moment from Zach. I'm going to go back to the radar. Let's go back to Max 1, and I'll track this because as Joel's just done a masterful job of tracking this. It was very intense, very scary, confirmed tornado. Hope nobody was hurt, but it is not as strong as it was. It is weakened tremendously. Searcy, stay sheltered. We are not going to sound the all clear for this until the tornado warning is gone, because this could cycle back up. That could happen. This wound up so quickly. From the second I walked off the screen to I stepped out in the hallway, it went tornado warning confirmed. That's how quickly that happened. And so we have to watch this northwest of BB as the rotation, what's left of it, continues to move up towards the northeast. It will be moving up towards Searcy. As you look live, that's the tree damage. Go ahead. With Christopher's mic, new tornado warning has been issued.
And we've got the bottom string there, meteorologist Pat Walker. He is live on that in Antioch there towards the bottom of the box there.
Okay.
By the way, Todd, brand new tornado warning now for Independence County and northwestern Jackson County. This is rotation along 167 near Pleasant Plains, north of the Independence White County line. So it's right over Pleasant Plains, and it'll be approaching Oil Trough. I'm going to get a track on that for you here. All right, that's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. The velocity on that, let's get that track. Let me make sure I'm tracking this at 45 miles per hour now. This might be moving a little bit faster than the last one, moving northeast. So Rosie at 731, Dunnington 734, Newark at 738, Mount Carmel at 741, Jacksonport 743, Diaz 746, Airport Village 752, and Tuckerman at 754. Again, that is a tornado warning for Independence County, and that tornado warning goes until 8 o'clock. So that rotation, I'm going to zoom in a little closer. And I don't want to ignore our friends down in White County that are still under a tornado warning. That rotation is not as tight, but it's pulling itself together near Pleasant Plains and may try to produce a tornado. Maybe, that's a new scan that we just got. It may be trying to tighten up there near Humphrey Drive and Highway 157. So right there, Doglick Road, Freeman Lane, Cornerstone Road, you need to be in the lowest floor away from windows there. Oil Trough, that's the next town that it's approaching. That is some tight rotation there. Let's look at debris mode. I don't see anything on the ground at the moment, but that's not to say that it won't try to produce. And I'm kind of scanning other storms to make sure that there's nothing we're missing here. That's near Antioch, by the way. This other tornado warned storm, believe it may have just went over Highway 31 there near Antioch. That rotation not near as tight. Let's look again. I want to look a little farther down here in southern Arkansas. I don't see anything there, but let's go back to Independence County because that is now our strongest storm. All right. South of Huff, north of Pleasant Plains, that rotation near Humphrey Drive and 157 So here's 167 running north and south. Pleasant Plains, there's your rotation north of Pleasant Plains, south of Stevens Circle. And that's going to basically, that's going to take it up Highway 157 almost. Hideout Road, Owl Lane, Maple Springs Road, Owl Lane, I just said that, Brown Lake Road, Rose Lane. You need to be in the lowest floor, away from windows. Strickland Lane, Dog Lick Road. I'm going to go back here and look at debris mode. That is still some, all right, hold on. There's where it reached its tightest rotation. It may be broadening out a little bit as it's gotten over 167. Hopefully this doesn't sustain itself as long as the last one did. We're going to keep a close watch on this Southern Independence County. We're going to go to Todd now with more information.
All right, so I want to give you an update on this White County storm. There's Antioch, and what you see here in the bottom left-hand corner is from Arkansas Storm Team meteorologist Pat Walker. That's the lowering you see and the wind. So he's carrying that live. If you look very closely, you can see the wall cloud off in the distance. What you're looking at here is the confirmed tornado. You see a pole across the road right there, power pole, trees down. That was when it was moving through northern Lonoke County. That's Zach Hardcastle. So here's what's left over of the White County tornado warned storm. It's still tornado warned near Antioch, as you see live, the lowering over there from Pat Walker near Highway 321, 31, just north of that. There's still broad rotation on radar, moving out of the tornado-warned polygon soon. I'm not quite sure the time that this expires. It's still got quite a ways to go, but it's going to be coming up near Searcy and will go just to the west of Searcy on Highway 13. A lot of wind with this, but it's moving towards the northeast. And I want everybody in Searcy, well, not technically under the tornado-warned polygon, take your tornado precautions. But as you're looking at it live right here and the damage that that storm caused when it came through, and we carried that live for you with Zach Hardcastle, and he says that he's about to send us some video of that tornado, and we're going to get that to you here in just a little bit. We need to track the confirmed threats, the ongoing threats north of Beebe. So, Joel, go ahead and keep tracking that storm just to the north of us. I wanted to give you an update on the White County storm and just say that right now that's okay, and that's Pat's legs. So go ahead.
Well, that's encouraging news there out of White County. I want to take you back up here into Independence County. Remind you, for those of you in Newark, Oil Trough, Pleasant Plains, Diaz, there is still a tornado warning until 8 o'clock. It includes Doda, Huff, Newark, and Tuckerman. I'm going to take that box down for a second. I want to switch over to velocity mode. It is not that tight. This is not as tight as it once was when it was over Highway 167. You can still tell there is some rotation there, but it is not all right there on top of each other like it once was. Still, I want you in your safe place. If you live in Oil Trough, Newark, Diaz, I think this will stay just to the north and west of you. And I know Diaz, there's a lot of storm anxiety all over this state. Let's be honest, we've been so hit hard this season. But Diaz, I believe that's going to stay to your northwest. Diaz itself is kind of out of the track of that storm. So this is probably going to stay closer to Oil Trough, Newark, if it holds together. This is not as strong of a storm as what we had farther south. However, in ways, it has more access to stronger wind shear because it's farther north. This is where we thought the greatest tornado risk was to begin with. And so far, most of it's been in central Arkansas. That might be trying to pull itself back together. Let's look at how it's evolved. That's where it looked like it reached its strongest point at 7:20. That was about 5 minutes ago. It weakened a little bit. Now it might be trying to pull itself back together. Oil Trough. This could be a tornado in the generating phases right now as it approaches from the south and west. I would stay off of Arkansas Highway 14 there, southeast of Batesville, heading toward Oil Trough. And I would stay off of Highway 14 there from the Jackson County line back over toward Oil Trough. Campbell Station, Newport, areas that were hit hard back on March 14th, you're outside of this polygon. So Newport, Campbell Station, Diaz, not included in this tornado warning. But areas just west, Jacksonport, back toward Newark is included. And that rotation is right there, south and west of Oil Trough. I'm going to zoom in a little closer so we can get some street names here. All right, so here's End Lane, Maple Springs Road. So Maple Springs is here, rotation is here. It's broad rotation, but it's still rotation. There's the town of Oil Trough. Ferry Lane, it might stay just to the west or northwest of Oil Trough. Here's 157. So again, that's tracking north and east. It may actually stay. So 157 runs from Pleasant Plains up to up to Owl Lane and then up to Oil Trough. There's Oil Trough. So that rotation is there. We're going to keep it here and see how this evolves. If this is trying to tighten up a little bit, again, we've seen it kind of weaken a little bit, and now it's trying to pick up a little bit. And we're going to stay on it and make sure that we're in good shape. I believe Todd is also watching that storm down in White County. So I know that we have a tornado warning in White County. We haven't forgotten about you.
No, just for everybody in White County, I'm over here watching the storm. Joel's getting that active warning that's going up there towards Oil Trough in Newark. He's on that storm. I'm gathering information right now just to let you know what I'm doing here in the background. But that storm in White County is not, it's really, really falling apart and not putting itself back together again. So we're waiting to see what happens. I still want everybody in and around Searcy along 67 once the new interstate there, especially northwest of it. Take your stay sheltered. I'm not going to say get out of there until that warning is over with.
I believe they've removed that tornado warning now and replaced it with severe.
Okay, so that means we're down to one tornado warning. And Joel, you have been on this storm so well. So
it's trying to tighten up a little bit. I would still consider it broad. And by the way, we're talking about the one in Independence County now.
Right.
It's approaching Oil Trough now, moving northeast. You're looking from two different radar sites I see, and it looks like I'm trying to figure out which one looks most ominous.
Well, to get a clear picture on it.
I mean, it's
is that a debris signature on it?
Well, let's look. It might be.
It's not.
I'm a little hesitant to say that because I don't feel like the velocity or the signatures from velocity are really backing that up. I don't know that it really correlates, but let's treat it as such. Oil Trough, lowest floor, away from windows. Site-built home, let's be in our safe place there. Oil Trough, I've been calling out some of these street names. Maple Springs Road, Maple Springs, the town just west of Oil Trough. We want you in your safe place. Let's make sure we have some places farther down the road there. Paget Island Road, Highway 69, Newark. Duck Puddle, I think that is, Duck Puddle Road. Closer to the Black River, I believe that is. Paraquet, Walls Lake Road, that's going to probably stay north of you. But here, there's the rotation there, kind of right over Maple Springs. There it is. It's kind of tightened a little bit more, Todd. Let's look at debris mode. Let's treat this like it's a tornado that's either already developed or in the generating phases there, just to the west of Oil Trough. But Oil Trough will want you in your safe place. The fact that I have the greens and the yellowish reds kind of touching each other right there, that's how this happens. So Highway 14, I would stay off of Highway 14, Highway 69. I would not be traveling in eastern Independence County. We believe this is a tornado trying to develop near Oil Trough, maybe just southeast of Rosie. I'm going to look at, you can clearly see there's a hook. It's got that look there. Let's look at velocity. Again, that is probably the strongest I've seen this since it prompted the warning. Right over Pleasant Plains is when the warning was issued. That's one of the strongest points. It kind of separated, and now it's come together there. Let's see how this plays out. It's moving over Oil Trough now. There's Rosie. There's your rotation. That's moving northeast. Here's Newark, Highway 69, where 14 crosses. I believe that's 14. 14 might run east and west. I'll try to get exactly what road we're looking at there. That's Highway 122. 122 and Highway 69. Arkansas 3 or AR 932. Newark, Paget Island Road, lowest floor away from windows. We may have a tornado developing near Maple Springs. And Christopher, I'm assuming you're in the Arkansas Storm Team Weather Center right now looking at storm analyst. Is that, I mean,
I'm trying to get
if you
some
have a
video.
chance, just see if you can find anything there that maybe we're not able to see here.
Okay.
Again, we're going to continue to watch that. I know he's juggling and doing a few different things. That is strengthened near Maple Springs. Friends, we need you in your lowest floor, away from windows. Let's go over those safe places once again. A sturdy structure, not a mobile home. We want you in a site-built home, a sturdy structure, center of the lowest floor, a room surrounded by other rooms, a compact room, a small room preferably, a closet, a hallway, maybe a bathroom. But if that bathroom has windows, it's not a safe place. You want to cover up, use blankets, pillows, wear a helmet. Athletes wear a helmet to protect their head during sporting events. You can use the same kind of helmet to protect your head in a tornado. If a tornado, of course, it has a lot of flying debris, and it may be, that can protect you. Stay put. Wait until you're given the all clear. You want to avoid driving in car or truck. You want to avoid mobile homes, and you want to avoid large open rooms or rooms with windows. Again, this may be a tornado in the development phases there. Let's look at debris mode. I can't definitively say there's a tornado on the ground, but this is the strongest rotation I've seen now with this storm right over Maple Springs. Here's Oil Trough. Very strong damaging wind near over Oil Trough and all areas here along Highway 14. I would not drive southeast to Batesville on Highway 14 toward Oil Trough right now. That rotation there right over Maple Springs. It's going to be over Paget Island Road here very soon. And then it's going to take it north and east toward Newark. Let's get a new track on this. We need to make sure that we're warning everybody downstream of this. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I want to make sure that all of our friends down the road are informed here of this storm moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. I believe it's already crossed over Highway 14. Newark, 7:38. You have just about 5 minutes from now before this may be right on top of you, Newark. Mount Carmel at 7:41. Dota at 7:47 Dota. Cord at 7:50, Tuckerman at 7:55, and Saffel at 8:01. So again, that rotation there, it's as tight as it's looked. And Christopher, I believe we have some more information there in the Arkansas Storm Team Weather Center.
Yeah, Joel, I've got some video from that storm from the Pleasant Plains area. So not too long ago, this is almost fresh video, about, I'd say 5 minutes old. It's on the Max 3 computer. If we can get that pulled up, I'll show you. This is a look at that wall cloud.
Wow.
You know, I know it's one thing we see it on radar, but actually seeing it in a video, it can really help folks take action. And again, just an ominous looking cloud. This was a short time ago on this storm that Joel was tracking there, now over the Oil Trough area. But there it is, Joel, that wall cloud that is pushing over there towards the Oil Trough area. And again, this was over towards Pleasant Plains. And I want to thank Luke Davis for sending this in. Thank you to all of the viewers for sending in your photos and video, because it is very crucial in getting folks to take shelter and to take these warnings serious.
All right, good information there, Christopher. Thank you so much. Again, going back to this rotation is pretty tight there. It is north of Highway 14. It's approaching Newark right now. Newark, you're running out of time. You're almost out of time. We need you in your lowest floor, away from windows. We don't have confirmation that this is on the ground, but this is some strong rotation. It's the strongest this storm has looked since it prompted that tornado warning. So again, Newark, lowest floor, away from windows. Looks like maybe it's trying to broaden out a little bit. We still have a couple, and I'm going to look once again at debris mode. I don't have a definitive debris signature here to say that it's on the ground. Todd's looking at this as well, and other storms. Todd, what do you see?
Just want to give you an overall picture now, Joel, of the line of thunderstorms. Everybody to the west of this line is in the clear for the rest of the evening. That includes most of Pulaski County, especially the western portion of it, but it's northeast Arkansas. What I believe is we have that energy rotating on through, causing things to spin. So I know you need a break for a little bit, but the severe thunderstorm warnings continue, especially across Little Rock is still under a severe thunderstorm warning technically, but the storm is for the most part on the south side of Pulaski County in southern Pulaski County, but a severe thunderstorm warning still continues for the metro. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for the Cabot area and northern areas of Lonoke County. Let's look and see if there's any rotation with that. I don't see any. The one that's in near Searcy that did have a tornado warning on it has a lot of wind with it, but no tornado warning, and a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. This is from the Memphis radar, as Joel's been tracking. A little separation there.
Would you look that real quick? I just want to see how it's evolved from that perspective.
From the Memphis
that's the
perspective?
Little Rock. So let's look at from the Memphis radar and just loop that.
All right, let me get the past, what do you want, 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we're going to get the past 30 minutes. This is from the Memphis radar.
Okay.
So you're looking at something very far away, but it was very well put together in those earlier scans, and maybe some separation there just within the past scan.
Now look at it from the Little Rock radar site and see how it kind of, in comparison, I would say it looks more ominous from Little Rock.
Let me slow this down. I've got it on slow. Let me go to very slow.
I will say, if there's a tornado, it's probably rain wrapped.
Yep. But this, to me, let's see here. Not as strong. Newark, stay sheltered. From the Little Rock radar, yeah, stay sheltered for sure. But I'm not 100% sure that this is on the ground right now. But may I act as if it is one. Newark, moving towards the northeast into far northwestern Jackson County. But there's still some spin with this and a lot of wind, and the tornado warning continues. I'm absolutely not advocating for the tornado warning to be dropped whatsoever. It's still a violent thunderstorm that has the potential of putting a tornado down, and nothing conclusive when we look at the debris signature like what we had earlier with Zach Hardcastle. We're working on getting his video in here very soon of that stovepipe tornado, but I just lost on radar. Let me go back up there. The storm continues to evolve, move off towards the northeast. We're on the back edge of this. I don't know if it was an outbreak or not, but the worst of this hopefully has passed our viewing area now. But this to me is not put together like it was a little while ago. It has passed oil trough. Even though you're still technically under that tornado warning polygon, that circulation has passed you towards the north, and it's right on Newark. We're looking at it from the Little Rock radar, so this is motion away from the radar, motion towards the radar. So there's a broad area of rotation right here over Newark, not very well put together in the lowest scans, but we're so far away from the radar. Dodo is another community that could be impacted by this potential tornado, but let's zoom in just a little bit and give everybody in Newark a little understanding of the road network and what we're looking at in this broad area. Magnus, Waldrip Road, right here, 233. There's Akron Lane, and there's Highway 122 going through town. There's a new scan that just came in, and if there's a tornado, this would be the general area. Nothing like what we saw earlier on the radar, but I'm not comfortable saying you're clear whatsoever since the distance is tremendously greater than what it was earlier. The debris signature, if there was a big tornado, you would be able to see it's a very well-defined debris signature, but it's not. Since we're so far away, there still could be a small tornado on the ground. The heavy rain, as Joel was telling you, it's wrapped in rain if there is a tornado. So it's one of those situations where in central Arkansas it was different, where we had great visibility. That would not be the case here. It would be wrapped up in rain the way that the storm is now structured across northeastern Arkansas. But it's moving through Newark right now and heading towards Old River Road and Galloway Road here. And there's Duck Puddle Road, what a well-named road for today. And Macedonia Road right here, Norris Lane, Mount Carmel. Heavy rain continues up there, and the tornado threat will be diminishing in moments for Newark, but I want you to stay sheltered. Let me check the newest information from the National Weather Service. They've been so busy, but I've got video that just came in from amateur radio operators, and there is a lot of tree damage over there towards Highway 5 south of AR 319, which is where Zach Hardcastle was when we had that live on the air. So there's some hail potentially with this thunderstorm. I don't think it would be so, large hail. I did get some video earlier today in southwest Arkansas, some pretty significant hail, so I wouldn't rule that out. Back to the velocity scan. Yeah, there's still significant rotation, and a tornado warning continues. It's going to stay to the northwest of Newport. We'll get close to Swifton and Tuckerman, but probably just to the northwest of Swifton and Tuckerman along Highway 37. We expect that to pass by. The tornado threat for the Little Rock metro area is practically over. We're still under a tornado watch, so I'm not going to say it's completely over, but the tornado watch continues. Let me see if I got that. I know they added eastern Arkansas to it, so all of these areas are under a tornado watch through this evening. Obviously, it had to get extended because I think we can say with beyond a shadow of a doubt that this storm system overperformed from what we initially thought. Let's go back down to Searcy because this might be, Joel, is this getting put together a little bit maybe
down
near Searcy?
Searcy, maybe
Northwest
a little bit.
Yeah, up Highway 16. I know there's some gas stations along the way here, but there might be, if there's not a tornado and there's no tornado warning in effect, there's definitely some strong winds with that.
Yeah.
And Judsonia and Bald Knob, if there is a tornado a warning that gets issued, it's going to be nearer just to the northwest of you, but there's still remnants of that old circulation just kind of hanging out. Hopefully that this is not going to put get any more organized and not put anything out, but that is of concern for a little while longer. The tornado warning storm this is the only one right now that has that official tornado warning on it.
There's still just a little bit of a couplet now northeast of Newark.
Yeah.
If you'd like, I can get another quick track on it because it kind of looks like it's going to follow or run right along Highway 122. So northeast of Newark. It may stay southeast of Doda. I've got a new track on this.
Yeah,
on
the
Max
new scan
2.
just came in. It's not any stronger.
Kind of Okay, that's good news. It's not
Go
even
ahead
a couple
to
at
Joel.
this point. I will. Okay, so the track that I was going to do for you here would take it into Cord at 749, Kenyon at 754. So Kenyon is over here, or Kenyon, north of Tuckerman. That's in Jackson County. This is the Black River that forms the border between Independence and Jackson County. And if that were to try to produce a tornado at this point, it would take it up, probably crossing over Highway 37, not far from the Black River Bridge, southeast of Cord. But right now, as Todd just mentioned, it doesn't look as strong as it once did. So that's encouraging news for those in northeastern and sections of Independence County and northwestern sections of Jackson County. Taking you farther south again toward this storm near Searcy, looking at it on look, if I were to compare these two storms, this one in northern Independence County that's tornado warned, and this one down here near Searcy, I would look at this and think Searcy's is most likely to produce a tornado because it has the hook. You can't see the hook as easily here because it's wrapped up in rain. The rotation is. So that's the reason why you're not able to see it as much. I think, yes, Todd, I will say I think that Searcy storm has strengthened a little bit more even since the last scan. Maybe. Or maybe it's sustained its strength. But either way, Bald Knob, be prepared. If this were to try to produce a tornado, another tornado, because remember, this is the same storm, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It is the one that produced the tornado just near Cabot, northwest Cabot. Yep.
Yeah, so this storm here still has a hook on it. And Bald Knob, if this were to try to produce a tornado, it would probably move your way, maybe south of Velvet Ridge. But Highway 167, north of Highway, or where it gets off of Highway Interstate 57, Highway 67, I would avoid that road there between Bald Knob and Midway, Velvet Ridge area for now, because that may try to produce a tornado. This is it's moving farther north, and as it moves farther north, it gets into the stronger wind shear, and that's the reason why these storms, and we believe that northern Arkansas would be most likely to see tornado-producing storms, but so far the storms in central Arkansas have been most capable of that. But let's look once again. Independence County, not as tight, Todd.
All right, let's go back in time. You're bringing up a good point about this Searcy storm in White County. I want to take you back from when we had Zach Hardcastle on the phone, he's trying his hardest to get us video, but cell communication is having a very difficult time because of the damage from that tornado along Highway 5. But look how this rapidly ramped up as it was northwest of Cabot, and then it just fell apart. And now look where it is now. It seems like it might be trying to put itself back together again, but it would be very difficult, I think. Right now, it's just not there, but it was so much stronger.
Todd,
go ahead.
Well, let's look at reflectivity real quick. It's had a hook on it, and I just want to look and see how this hook has evolved, and we're just going to look at the rain mode. But look at this last scan. It's almost like the hook has a hook, if you look a little closer. I just want to make sure. It just looks like it's trying to wrap up a little bit more.
Okay, and
I'm waiting for a new scan on velocity to see if it's trying to produce something there. South and west, or west-southwest of Bald Knob, maybe just north of Judsonia, or right kind of over Judsonia. Do you see what I mean here? I've got it zoomed in a little closer. I'm going to pause
I've got it right here, just north of Searcy, west of Judsonia on Highway 167. So this is it here. This is an area that may get put under a tornado warning very soon. So there's 4 Mile Hill, there's Crosby, Judsonia, Kensett in White County. That is the rotational area right there, and moving towards the northeast. No tornado warning is on this. We're going to continue to follow the Independence County tornado warning too, but that has sort of fallen apart. Joel, please check in on that.
Yeah, that looks much. It's still there.
Still
broad. There's still a couplet, and for those of you watching in Independence County, it's southeast of Doda. And it's approaching Highway 37 near the Black River Bridge.
Okay, so if we can, did you get that picture, Christopher, of the tornado? We got a picture of that tornado when it went through just northwest of Cabot. It was northwest of Cabot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in southern White County as well. What computer is that going to be on, 3?
It's going to be on 3. About to have it right.
All right, just yell at me when you got it. But we're following this, and there is a couplet there now. Just on the northwest side of Judsonia. So just northwest of Judsonia coming into Bald Knob. So I'm just going to go ahead and say take your tornado precautions. Let's play this safe than sorry, especially in light of what we have dealt with today. There is a couplet trying to form here. Johnny, I can't see that well. Huback Road, I believe, and Caps Road, north of Searcy over here and west of Bald Knob. There is some rotation there. This is the reflectivity mode, the rain mode, and there's your wind coming out of it and your inflow going into it. And so if there's a tornado, it's embedded in that area, not tornado warned. I want to make sure we're clear about that. But as we always try to do, we try to stay ahead of this, crossing over 157, and we'll be getting close to Bald Knob. But it is taking on supercellular characteristics once again and may try to produce a tornado. This storm did produce a tornado, and we're going to show it to you now. Replace this with Max 3, please. And this is the tornado that Zach Hardcastle was on the phone with us about earlier. So you see all that on the ground and pieces of debris getting thrown into the air. This was earlier along Highway 5, and was it 314? Yeah. Was that Highway 5 and 314,
yes,
I believe?
It might be 314. It was just south of El Paso near that Dollar General down there.
So, and then you see that's the tornado. At one point, he's having a very difficult time.
319.
319, I'm sorry, 319. Thank you, Christopher. He's having a very difficult time getting the video, but he's able to get us a still picture of that. Thank you very much, Zach. Let's go back onto Max 1 and look at the newest scans here. It's separated, but there is still a little bit of a couplet north of 167 moving towards the northeast. So that is the severe thunderstorm warned storm in White County moving towards the northeast. The tornado warned storm, let's check in on that one near Tuckerman, northwest of Tuckerman. Still, to me, and you did the comparison of the two storms, I would put a tornado warning on the one in White County compared to the one that's up here in Independence County. But this still has an official tornado warning on it. It's east of Batesville moving towards the northeast. So this is not, in my opinion, I'm not going to say not producing a tornado, but it's the lesser of the two. But it does have a tornado warning on it, so please stay sheltered no matter what. But we've got to watch what's happening down there west of Bald Knob. So that's a little closer into our area, but this particular rotation will be getting into Jackson County very soon and out of our viewing area, but it's going to go very close to Swifton. And that area of the state, as you know, has had a tremendously difficult time with tornadoes over all of northeastern Arkansas. We're about 65% of the tornadoes so far this year have been in northeastern Arkansas, overwhelming majority of them. So the thing that we're hoping for right now is that that continues to wind down and this continues to wind down. Let me check with the news department on any new information, but we know we have damage. We've showed you damage. Who's live streaming? That's Zach's. Is that live?
That is not currently. Actually, it's buffering just a bit here. Let's see.
Yeah.
I will say I'm about to have a damage picture here on Max 3 again.
Okay.
I just got to update the credit here. This was actually from Heath Hensley. Y'all can go ahead and take Max 3. Let's see, let me update it there. But this is along Ballard Road, and
Max 3?
Yeah, let's see. Let me refresh. There we go. And it should come up any second now. But there it is. This is along Ballard Road, right there, right along the White County and Faulkner County line.
Okay. You said the what county line?
The Faulkner County and White County line.
Okay, so the trees down there, that was likely from the tornado. From Heath Hensley?
Heath Hensley, yes.
Okay, so that's storm damage there. Trees down covering the road, but you see a lot of the trees and they still have leaves on them. That's important to note when you're looking at the damage. Look at what's not damaged. So yes, that could have been a tornado damage, but we're not talking about a high-end tornado because look, there are a lot of trees still standing and the leaves are not stripped from the leaves aren't stripped from the trees, but there are trees down. So probably lower end of the EF scale with that. Just to let you know, a quick analysis at that particular point, but that doesn't show you the full scope of what's going on. So back to the Max 1 and the spin that that we're following west of Bald Knob. Still no tornado warning for it. Moving up towards Bradford, northeastern White County, and this is Jackson County that this is going to be heading towards. No tornado warning on that. It has a severe thunderstorm warning. If one gets issued, you'll see a new tornado warning box, and that would most likely be the reason why they would issue a new tornado warning is for that one. Joel, do you see anything up there further towards the north?
I was looking there. That rotation, by the way, on the Independence Jackson County storm, maybe it's weakened. I think it's weakened a lot. It's still broad, still seeing some strong winds, but keep in mind we're looking higher up because we're far away from the radar site. Remember, the radar is in North Little Rock. This is getting much farther away from that, but still right over the Elgin area, right on Highway 37 on the Black River, kind of heading towards Swifton. So that's going to be getting up into northern sections of Jackson County. I want to take us back farther south, though, near Bald Knob and Judsonia. This storm here, Clear Hook there near Highway 157 west of, I believe that is west of Highway 167, so north and west of Bald Knob. Looking at velocity now, I'm seeing a little bit of a tighter couplet. It's trying to come together. This is really trying to pull itself together. Bradford, we need you to be one step in your safe place. We don't have a tornado warning now, but if this tries to continue what it's doing right now, then it will likely be issued for parts of northeastern White, southern Jackson, and northern Woodruff County probably. Because if this were to hold together, and I'll draw a little line or arrow here to show you where this will be going if it were to hold together, that's going to take it most likely north and east. It probably would cross over 160 or Highway 60. Well, it would cross over 167 north of Bald Knob. It would cross over Highway 67, I-57 south of Bradford, and then it would probably cross over the White River there near where Jackson, Woodruff, and White counties come together. So that rotation trying to get a little bit more organized there near Bald Knob. Bald Knob, I would be ready to be in my safe place, or it might get past you before it tries to produce anything, but that's going to be taking it in that general direction. So southern Jackson County, northern Woodruff County, northeastern White County, I'd be ready to get in my safe place. I want to make sure that this up here near Swifton hasn't strengthened. It looks like we're just looking really high up in the storm. But this area near Bald Knob or north of town, let's see what this road is here that's connecting 157 to 167. I believe that is, I got to get a street name on this, 258. And that's a new tornado warning issued for that same storm. Northeastern White, southwestern Jackson, and northwestern Woodruff County. Let's get the exact time on that. That's going to go until 8:30. It includes Bald Knob, Bradford, Judsonia, and Kensett. Lowest floor, away from windows. That is a brand new tornado warning there. And it does include the southeastern corner of Independence County, by the way, that rotation. And I'm going to redraw that. In fact, let's put a new track on that now that we have an official tornado warning moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So I'm going to make sure that I adjust my speed settings there. And it's moving toward the north and east. So putting a track on that, that puts it near Velvet Ridge at 8 o'clock. Remember earlier I said stay off of 167 south of Velvet Ridge. This is why. Bradford at 8:09, Bengal 8:22, Tupelo 8:29, Newport at 8:36. This may stay just south of Newport, but Newport, and in fact, Newport's not included in the tornado warning, but just so you know, it does kind of take it in that general direction, or maybe areas just south. Diaz, Campbell Station, I think it stays south of you. Balk or Balch at 8:49 there. We're watching that area as well. So again, that's a tornado warning. And Todd, I think you have a little more information.
Yeah, just want to let you know we do have a crew that's going up towards Highway 5 in the El Paso area. And just also for information as well, the roof at the Dollar General was not ripped off. Just want to make sure we're clear about that. That sometimes those early reports, when you're looking at a tornado and stuff is flying in the air, as Zach was looking at, it gets a little chaotic. So that, as best to our knowledge, did not happen, but there is quite a bit of damage and the debris in the air, and we have a crew that's on their way up there right now. And of course, we'll have that for you as soon as possible, and of course on the late news coming up at 9 and 10 o'clock, we'll have all that for you wrapped up, and I think we'll be over with this round of severe weather. But what's of immediate concern, that tornado warning up there in northern Jackson County, most likely going to expire and not get a reissuance. But this one is the one that we've been following prior to the warning being issued, northeastern White County, north of Bald Knob. So Bald Knob, while you're going to have some high winds, the potential tornado is staying north of you for the time being and moving towards the northeast. So we have meteorologist Christopher Pipkin. Just bring up his microphone. What do you got, Christopher?
Todd, I was going to say you might want to pull up that RDOT camera on the top there and take a look. This is right under that rotation. A lot of vehicles stopped right there on Highway 57. But if we see anything, it's going to be right into this area because that's exactly where that rotation is, right into the Bald Knob area.
Bald Knob?
Yes, Bald Knob, right over Bald Knob.
Well, let's put the radar in another corner, maybe bottom corner, middle one, or one of these three boxes. I want to keep radar up there, guys. And you put max 1 if you can. No, in the corner box, and let's stay with the RDOT camera for a little while. The new scan just came in.
A little more disjointed,
and
I guess, yeah.
It's what? Say that again?
It looks not as strong, at least, with that scan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you're looking at it live right here, and that newest scan there, south of Velvet Ridge, not as strong as it was just a little while ago, just a scan ago, moving up towards Bradford and Denmark. But you're looking live right now, southbound. You see a car stopped. I can't tell. That may actually be an emergency vehicle. No, I don't think it is. But you see the heavy rain. We'll see if we see anything passing by just to the south of that location, that RDOT camera at the Arkansas Department of Transportation on 57 looking towards the south. But the newest scan, it shows a little weakening and separation between the bright reds and the bright greens, more broad rotation, loosely defined, not as tightly put together as it was, and it's moving towards the northeast. We'll be crossing over into the Jackson County area here very shortly. But go ahead. The northern tornado warning in Jackson County for the Tucker, just north of Tuckerman, there's barely anything left to that warning polygon. It's this one, that's it. Hopefully this is going to be the last tornado warning of the evening, and hopefully the last one of the season, or year, or ever. But that's south, and now it's tough to see with the bright lights, the cars, the traffic, and the rain droplets on the lens. So let's go back to the velocities on max 1 and take a look at that. 23, not familiar with that community. Near that, just to the northwest, if there's a tornado, most likely area that it would be is across that location. If you're just now joining us here for the hours of coverage we've had, thank you so much for your trust in this. That's even a newer scan that shows lesser amounts of rotation. Stay sheltered. Bradford, Bald Knob, technically still under the tornado warning, but it's north of you and moving away from you. It's not going to all of a sudden put its brakes on and head back. So it's now, we'll get an update and that polygon will shrink. But Clay, Dewey, on up towards the Ramsey access area, I think this is going to stay well east of you along the Little Red River and going up into Jackson County. New scans will be coming in, but right now we're on the backside of this event. Hard hit is along Highway 5. And I keep forgetting this 319. Is that Christopher? 319 and Highway 5.
Yep.
And this is a wall cloud that you see here from Sarah Stair. Not sure. Yes. Cersei wall cloud. That was earlier, and as it moved through. And this is the same area. It looked more healthy in terms of the velocities on it when it was over Cersei than it does now. So maybe this gets canceled prior to its expiration. But while we're tracking this, and again, stay sheltered, for all intents and purposes, this is the only tornado warning in the viewing area. I know I say that and you've got this up here, but this is moving out of that warning polygon up here in northern Jackson County, right on the line here with Independence and Jackson County, and that's about to move out of the polygon. And that may expire at 8 o'clock, so when that hits 8, that polygon may go away. I'm not sure the expiration time, but I bet it's 8. In the meantime, this is the next tornado warning right there in northeast Arkansas. And the past couple of scans have showed the rotation maintaining, but not as strong. You're looking live here on 67, 167, the new 50, is it 57? Looking towards the south at that storm over here. But I don't see anything because it's being obscured in rain. So he's going to get another camera. Thank you, Christopher, getting another camera view of that one. And so this tornado warning continues. It's 8 o'clock. New tornado warning has been issued. Did they extend that one?
They did. It looks like that's going to be a new tornado warning now for northeastern northeastern Independence, northwestern Jackson, and into Lawrence County.
Okay, so once that goes into Lawrence County, that moves it out of our viewing area. But I just want to let you know that up here along the Independence and Jackson County line, a new tornado warning has been issued. I think that they're issuing it because the distance from the radar, the confidence is low as what's happening at ground level. The atmospheric conditions are still favorable for something to occur, and so I think that this is the best route to go, is to keep a tornado warning going, especially on a storm and on a day like today. Now you know why we had today as an Arkansas Storm Team Alert Day. I think now you know why we had that last Thursday going into the weekend. Velvet Ridge, there's still some semblance of rotation here. South of town, southeast of town, near 23, there's still some rotation with this. They're not going to drop the tornado warning as long as that's present. So Velvet Ridge Road, Turner Road here, that's most likely the area that will get at least the rotation going over your house. And if you know anybody there, let them know. And if you live in that area, you know what to do. It's what we've been urging everybody to do that's in these polygons, to take those tornado precautions. Find that safe place. Put as many walls between you and the outside, lowest level. Stay away from windows. So go ahead, Christopher. Did you have anything new?
Just nothing new as of yet, though, Todd. But I will say I'll go ahead and do some analysis here if you'd like.
On what computer are you on?
I'll be on the OBS computer here. Okay. And I'll go ahead and show y'all. We're looking here at the en route values, and I just want to give you just kind of a recap here going as this storm has moved past Searcy. So here's what it looked like over Searcy. Gained a little bit of steam in terms of that rotation, picked up just a bit, which prompted that tornado warning right there near Bald Knob, and now pushing over there towards Bradford. And here's the latest scan on the en route, which is the rotational value that we look at here, normalized rotational value here, and it's not as prominent for that area. But I do want to come up here towards Swifton, and this is looking in towards highway, or US 67, which is now Interstate 57, going towards Alicia, and then soon to be crossing over there in the northern part, or north of Tuckerman and north of Swifton. We're watching that closely, Walnut Ridge into that area too, but these values that I'm looking at here, they're not as prominent as they have been, at least over the last few hours in some areas of the state, especially back there towards the White County area. So that was on Highway 5. I do want to back it up and show you a recap of that real fast too, but this was just northwest of Cabot along Highway 5 and Highway 319 over on Ballard Road, and as it crossed over from Faulkner County into the small portion of Lonoke County, and then pushed in over there towards the White County area, and then quickly lifted up as it continued to push in towards White County. And that same storm again rotated as it continued to pull through White County, weakened, and now we are dealing with that storm once again. So the latest scans not showing anything as strong as we were looking at over there towards Lonoke County. I am going to look at the rotation here. It's just broad as of now, and hopefully we continue to see that stick with that, at least that news there with that rotation. But again, Bradford, Grand Glaze, Oliphant, we've got also you are not included over there towards Newport, but this does include a portion of Independence County as well, and same thing for northwestern parts of Woodruff County, again southeastern parts of Independence County, and we've also got southwestern parts of Jackson County and northeastern parts of White County. So this tornado warning is continuing until we've got until 8:30 p.m. It is moving off towards the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Again, this is radar indicated. This is not on the ground. I'm going to look here on our debris detection tool here and see if we see anything. And again, the rotation is just so broad, we shouldn't see anything on the debris tool, and I don't see anything at all. So that is good news, and we're going to hope that continues with that trend as it crosses from White County and then over there towards Independence County. Todd?
All right. Also, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Cleveland County, Grant County, portion of southern Grant County, as well as Dallas County and southern Arkansas. There's no rotation at this time with this, but there's a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for that storm. We'll look at the velocities, and I see a little bit of enhancement of the wind over here, but nothing to me that looks like it's going to immediately form into a tornado, and that doesn't even look strong at all on the and reflectivity on the rain mode. So I just want to give you an update on what's happening with that line in southern Arkansas. So as most of the tornado activity now shifting into northeastern Arkansas, and the one that we're watching in our viewing area, that one has passed over up towards the northeast Arkansas area out of Jackson County and going up there towards Lawrence and Randolph County here. But this rotation continues. It's not well defined still, as Joel and Christopher have been showing you, but it's still there, chugging along. It's 8:05. This is under this area is under a tornado warning. It's under a tornado warning until 8:30. So just if it's not canceled prior, we're going to stay with you all the way through. And to remind you that we also have a crew on the way, Highway 5 in that area, and far northwest areas of Lonoke County and southern White County, where we did have that confirmed tornado that we brought to you live with Zach, and there's damage in that area. He reported earlier a stovepipe tornado. That's a common phrase that spotters use. That's the way it looks. It's kind of it's not a wedge, but it looks like a stovepipe actually, and that's why they call it a stovepipe tornado. That's what it best resembles. So that was confirmed earlier, and I think that we probably are going to end up with at least 3, 4, 5 tornado tracks today, at least, when all is said and done. But this is the one in our viewing area in Bradford. We've got crews that are going out, a crew going up, and so we'll have the newest and live from them coming up at 9 o'clock, Fox 16 News at 9, and KARK-4 News at 10 o'clock. We'll have a full report from them with the damage and the cleanup efforts after this terrible Easter Sunday here in Arkansas. But that tornado warning continues for White County. Widen out and show the storm that is now left going up towards Lawrence County, is on the county line with Jackson County and west of Alicia. Seeing pictures of a lowering and a wall cloud west of Alicia. That has been confirmed. There is a lowering and a wall cloud. I've seen pictures of that, and it's moving towards the north and is almost out there and heading up towards Hopewell. So we don't recommend anybody traveling from Little Rock back up to school at Arkansas State. Right now up the interstate. That is a terrible, terrible idea until this line of storms passes by, and you have nightfall, of course, and maybe do that tomorrow daylight hours. But you've got that one tornado warning, and I even see a little bit of rotation. Look at this. Is that a south? Yeah, I just saw something there. It looks more like just a bunch of wind to me, but there might be something trying to form there.
I did loop it just to see how it's evolved, and it doesn't seem to be weakening or strengthening, but it's trying. It's trying.
Yeah, I see it. There's strong winds, and there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that for sure. But I don't think tornado warning is in its future within the next few minutes. But again, that is another suspicious area. Absolutely.
I will say, Todd.
Go ahead with Christopher.
Just a quick update here I want to give you on the power outages across the state. I will say, with all this active weather, earlier this afternoon we had about 5,000 without power. Now we are looking at 3,558. So that is the good news. The majority of those power outages, though, unfortunately, is right there in the northwestern part of Lonoke County, where we've got 1,000 folks without power. And I can imagine that's with that tornado that went through that area earlier. And then over towards White County, about 80 folks without power. And then Faulkner County, about 160 folks are also without power. Still got some more power outages still towards the Garland County area, and same thing for Saline County as well. So just tracking those power outages too for y'all, and I've been looking on the Entergy website, and I'm not able to find a localized area, but I have been looking at traffic maps, and I've been looking at the traffic. You can definitely see it stopped there, right there close to the intersection of Highway 319 and Highway 5, which is where Zach Cardcastle, one of the storm chasers that we had, storm spotter we had on his stream, and of course the pictures that we've got from him too with all that damage as well. I'm going to continue to track more on damage pictures that have been sent in. So far, it's been a lot of wall cloud pictures, and folks getting pictures to us as quickly as they can. Got to say thank you so much to the Arkansas Storm Team viewers as well, to you at home, for everyone sending in those pictures, but doing it safely, of course, because that's always the important thing. But thank you so much for that. But I'm going to do a quick analysis here on the OBS computer, and let me go ahead and switch it over. There we go. And I'm just going to look again at our normalized rotational values, and just again, not seeing anything as strong, but Joe may have something in over there.
Well, Christopher, you've got it right there on your screen, but that storm southeast of Searcy has strengthened. We've got a brand new scan here, a tighter area of rotation right there near West Point, and that may very well warrant a brand new tornado warning. I believe Todd's asking in the Weather Service chat to see if they're going to be issuing a warning on that, but that's certainly tightened, and I want to get a storm track on it before. Yeah, that's really tightened up quite a bit.
That's stronger than the one up towards the north.
Yeah, let's get a track on that. That's kind of heading toward Augusta. So places like West Point, 811 right now. West Point, let's go ahead and be in our safe place because this is trying to develop and likely will issue, I would imagine the Weather Service will probably issue a tornado warning on this based off of its most recent strengthening. They may look for one more scan, but Andrews, 814, Liberty Valley at 822, Augusta, 836, Revel at 842. Maybe Revelle, Patterson 847, McCrory 850, and Weldon 857. Looking at how that is, look at that. That is tighter rotation, like Todd said. Arguably, would you say stronger than the storm to its north? That's near Vaughn Lane. West Point is right here. There's Vaughn Lane. That's trying to develop a tornado right there over Vaughn Lane. West Point. That's going to take it north and east. Is that a new scan that I just got?
I'm not sure, but I think that's we got to go ahead and say that there's take your tornado precautions.
Get in your safe place. It's going to probably stay mostly north of Nemo. It's going to take it right toward Augusta. Here's Augusta. Here's Highway 64. There's West Point, that rotation. It's going to be taking it right there toward Augusta. That's got it on that track. Let's hope it falls apart. Let's hope it weakens. But that latest scan suggests that we may have a tornado in the generation phases there near West Point. I would stay off of Highway 36 northwest of Pryor. Heading around West Point there. That's going to be moving over a lot of rural farmland there before it gets to Augusta. But Augusta, be ready to take that be in that safe place. There is a tornado warning, as we mentioned earlier, north of you, and we've been talking about that one. But Augusta, be ready to be in that safe place because that rotation near West Point is strengthening there, Todd.
Yeah, hopefully this has gone in a scan or two, but it is it's in, I think, its maturing phase. So when they issue a tornado warning for this, which I'm sure they are watching that, you'll see that box pop up, and it's over West Point now. And the location, Liberty Valley Road, ditch 13 road. So that's over here. That's where this circulation will be passing over. Rowland Road as well. Take your tornado precautions. I don't care that there's not a tornado warning in effect. It's south of the tornado warned storm now. This is stronger than that one toward the north. Stay sheltered up there in White County. This right here, I think going over 323 could be producing a tornado or in the very beginning stages. The newest scan just came in and it's still put together. Maybe not quite as much, but going over Duke Road, north of Duke Road and South River Road, as Joel was indicating, it's over rural farmland, but we have viewers here. I know we do. There's people out here. Take your tornado precautions along Highway 36, West Point, and that very small community moving towards the northeast. No tornado warning has been issued, but we're going to go ahead and call it and say take your tornado precautions on a day like this, which means Augusta would be put under a tornado warning. If this does indeed maintain itself, it may track near or just north of Augusta and also up towards the McCrory area, probably staying east of McCrory, but will pass along Highway 64, which I think there are cameras, by the way, in that area, Augusta to Bald Knob. The newest scan is not as strong, but it's still there, an enhancement in the wind field, and it wouldn't surprise me the least to see a new tornado warning issued for this circulation center coming up between Bald Knob and Augusta. This tornado warned storm toward the north, gosh, Bradford, I look at both of them, and there's no comparison. This is much stronger than what I see here. This does have a history of producing a tornado, though, but I think this may be starting to transfer some of its wind energy from that towards the south, and it's in the process of doing so. So we'll see if this tornado warning remains and what comes of this. What do we have here on these cameras? The bottom camera is what, Christopher? What do we have there?
So the box on the bottom is actually the Augusta storm looking out over the White River, but this is actually pointed directly at that storm, and in the top one there is in BB, or Bald Knob, I'm sorry.
Bald Knob, okay. So we'll see how that goes. This is a tornado warning in effect until 8:30. It's 8:14, this one here, but we're waiting to see what happens with this. I pray that the next scan comes in and it's gone, but it definitely blew up there for a second. just like the one up towards the north did. So it's over West Point. Rio Vista is another community that it's going to get close to. In this situation, Judsonia is under a tornado warning, but it's not for this storm, even though that's passing just south of you. It's for the one that's past you. This hasn't been trimmed back for some reason, but there's a new scan that just came in, and I still think that there's the potential for a tornado with this.
I think it might be just a little stronger than the last scan, but yes, the last scan was weaker, but I think this one might be just a little stronger. And it may be that they haven't dropped the backside of that last warning because they may just want
this one to go into it.
They may be expecting it to, but I would think that, so that warning that's just north of it is set to go until 8:30, so that would have only 15 more minutes on it. Maybe that's what they're doing. But
because it's going to go into that polygon, but they're going to have to reconfigure the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, I think that it's going to cross into that polygon. Yeah, it is taking on, it looks like it'll probably cross over 64 west of Augusta, near Rio Vista.
Near Rio Vista, okay. All right, so let's look up and down the line. I don't want to miss anything. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. This is for Carlisle along Interstate 40. To the east, this includes Desart, so a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for high winds. This is not a situation where I think we have hail. I think this is mainly for high winds. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect further south. We were showing you this earlier, and also coming up out of Washtenaw County. Camden is now under a severe thunderstorm warning. You have a severe thunderstorm on top of you right now that's moving towards the east-northeast. Risen is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Pine Bluff, you'll be getting these thunderstorms probably within the next hour, as well as Wabaseka, Stuttgart, and right along Interstate 40. That's a terrible place to be right now. Lone Oak towards Carlisle, Hazen, right along 40. Over towards north up towards Desart too. Severe thunderstorm warnings. That extends all the way to Brinkley, to the Monroe-St. Francis County line. That one severe thunderstorm, and they're moving very rapidly. So this one severe thunderstorm, tornado warning continues for northern White County going into Jackson County. The other rotation that we've been watching seems to be less put together. Joel, I'll leave that up to you to determine, because I don't want to get
I think it's, I think it's a little weaker than the last scan. I think we've seen this storm it's been cycling to some extent, so it strengthens a little bit, weakens a little bit. We've seen that to some extent with all of these storms. This particular storm, you know, maybe the Weather Service just decided to let it get into the polygon of this previously warned storm. So this rotation here that went through Bald Knob is now in Jackson County. This rotation developed, and it looks like it's going to cross into that previously warned, tornado warned box, so they may let this one go for a little while longer. That rotation there that developed near West Point, it has, and I think, is that a new scan there that's come in? I think it has weakened even further. So that's good news. Again, looking at this line up and down, as Todd was mentioning, I-40 is a pretty nasty drive through Lone Oak County right now, but at least we don't have any signs of significant rotation. I'm looking farther down the line as well toward Camden as well, just to make sure. It looks like, again, as we expected, the tornado risk is shifting more into northeast Arkansas. And our areas of rotation that we have right now, both, Todd, I believe both of those have weakened considerably. At this point, I would almost argue that the Jackson County storm might be a little bit stronger now than the one that is down in White County. Would you agree with that at this point? Maybe a little bit up into Jackson County. I want to look and see how that looks.
Yeah.
It's still on I-57 there south of Newport.
Yeah, I see it. It's, gosh, I don't know. They're both pretty, not that strong. And just waiting to see what the National Weather Service wants to do with this. But, by the way, large power flashes now south of Walnut Ridge.
That's the storm that went up through Oil Trough earlier, so it's near Hopewell now. So that's so far away from radar right now, so it's tough to really get an idea. Is that a debris signature that we have there? I don't know that lowering, Todd, southwest of Walnut Ridge, I don't know that it co-locates with the rotation. I'm gonna.
Well, that's from Brett Adair, who's a good friend of mine.
I mean, I don't doubt it. I'm just saying, like, Okay, yes it does, absolutely. Southwest of Walnut Ridge, there's your tornado
he says
up
he
in
saw
Lawrence
power
County.
flashes, so
Yeah,
I mean
that
it
would
could be
make sense.
thunderstorm. I mean, it could be winds from a thunderstorm.
I think we do have a debris signature on that. That's in Lawrence County. If you have family and friends driving along 63 north and west of Walnut Ridge, that's a tornado that appears to be on the ground north of Hopewell, moving toward 412 near Walnut Ridge. But these storms down here inside the KRK and Fox 16 coverage area that we're tracking right now, velocity has weakened on the White County storm. Now the Jackson County storm, that might, we might be getting a new scan here soon. I think that's still, it looks still fairly strong out there to the west of Highway 57, I-57, 67, but I don't think it really lines up with where I would expect it to be on radar, Todd.
Yeah, it's kind of like those things.
For that matter, they haven't issued a new tornado warning, so that's encouraging signs there. But
yeah, so the tornado warning polygon, it's right on the edge of that. This is in effect for another 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, it'll be on the edge of that or toward the north. And this is a good time to bring up, while this is the only tornado warned storm in our viewing area, this is a good time to bring up the threats in motion that has been delayed, it seems. That's supposed to be released by the NWS at some point, NOAA. But what you see here is the end of the polygon, right? So everybody at this location where this potential tornado is located, how long have they been warned?
What's that?
How long, everybody at the end of this polygon where that is, how long have they been warned?
That storm's been warned
was issued for 30 minutes at least?
Let's see. It was probably issued around 7:54, so yeah.
I mean, 30 minutes.
Getting close to 30 minutes, yep.
You've had 30 minutes of warning, all right? How long does anybody here have warning? Nobody has warning here. There's no tornado warning polygon here on the other side of it.
That's strengthened a little bit, hasn't it?
Well, I'm just pointing out that nobody's got warning here, and it's going to be there in 5 or 10 minutes. And what this is part of the problem with polygon issuance is because what happens is you don't have that lead time here compared to here, just down the road. You have a much larger lead time here compared to here where there's no polygon right now.
Right.
So threats in motion solves that. And it's going to be released at some point in the near future from the National Weather Service where these polygons actually move and the probability of the tornado actually updates in real time, and these polygons don't stay stationary. They're in constant motion. It's called threats in motion, TIM for short. And that's coming down the pipe not too long from now, hopefully sooner than later. It's been in the works for quite some time, seems like forever, so that everybody has lead time. You see what I'm trying to say? This location where the potential tornado is along 167, you've had warning for how long? For half an hour. But on the other side of this polygon, you're not technically under a warning unless a new one gets issued. In that case, if a new one gets issued, you're only going to have about 5 minutes of warning. That is going to be solved someday soon, that issue, that problem. And that's just part of the evolution of getting things done and research analysis and getting all that programming done. But that's coming. That's moving towards the northeast, towards Jackson County and Newport. No new tornado warning. It's now 8:23 in the evening. We want to remind you that I think they're going to continue it just based on radar and what's happened today. I don't know, because I think that the conditions in our area are not as favorable as they once were. We'll see what they do. I've quit guessing what they're going to do. But let's go over to Christopher Pipkin. Oh, you got a frozen computer over there, right? So you take care of that, then let me know when you got that.
Todd, so looking at velocity here,
yep.
Looking at it south of Newport, I would think my rotation was right there, kind of at the southeastern tip of Independence County, right there where 367 is. All right, I'm going to switch to reflectivity, okay?
All right.
It's behind the heaviest rain. Would that, maybe the rotation is within the rain, but normally you would expect, I would have expected it to be farther east. It's not where I would expect it to be.
You're absolutely
in relation to the rain. I wondered if that was an old, You're just trying to make some sense of it based off of where the rain is located, where the rotation is. I would, if I'm looking at this right now, I'm thinking it's probably about 5 to 10 miles southeast.
They're saying they're going to let it expire at 8:30, but no word of a reissuance. So that to me indicates that they're not going to issue a new tornado warning.
Yeah.
If they're putting that language out. But like I said, we got 5 minutes, 6 minutes to figure out what they're going to do. So we'll find out. But in the meantime, stay sheltered, all right? In Newport, You're not under a tornado warning right now, but there's some circulation. I would seek shelter just to be on the safe side on a day like this. We do have reports of damage throughout the area. And again, just to let you know that we have news crews that are heading to those areas that have damage. It will be another long process. It's now outside the warning polygon, but it's there. But it's going to be a long process of getting the surveys completed. I can tell you that because of limited staffing and the fact that there are so many areas. It will be a process. It will get done. It will take time. Just be patient with that because everybody wants to know. But we do know of at least one tornado for sure. And we had that for you live with Zach Hardcastle earlier. And when Christopher, when you get that, when you can seriously reboot that computer, and you might want to do it with your foot. Just let me know when you have that done because he's got video now. Okay, so the Independence.
Well,
okay.
So
go ahead, Christopher.
I'll just say in the National Weather Service chat, it looks like they, I think, tried to either cancel that warning and then maybe might have made it, let's see, it's not showing on the GR2 computer, it's showing as it dropped, but I'm going to check in on that, Todd. Also going to get that footage up there too. But
we're not going to leave you until we're 100% sure. But we do have video that just came in of the tornado too. We have a picture of that tornado. We had Zach Hardcastle on the air watching the tornado do damage. And so it was in real time. And we also, when that circulation went over Little Rock, those two circulations, we followed that for you. That's what we're here to do, is to keep you safe, to tell you what's happening and what's not happening, because what's not happening is just as important when everybody's nervous about a situation. So that tornado warning continues. It's outside the polygon moving into Jackson County. But Christopher, what he's got is video from a viewer that we just got of the debris coming out of the sky from that tornado that was near El Paso in Lonoke County up there towards White County. And so he's working on getting that. That was earlier this evening. And again, Fox 16 News at 9, KARK-4 News at 10. We will have coverage of everything you need to know. Make sure you have the Arkansas Storm Team app downloaded and on your phone. But we're going to continue to stay with this. Just yell at me when you do have that video.
Gotcha.
Nothing, I think the National Weather Service is going to continue. Okay, they're expiring that, but nothing new, no new issuance that we know of at this time. It's now 8:27. This tornado warning expires at 8:30, and I want to stay with this. Why? Because what if they do issue a new tornado warning for this? But as Joel has done a great job of pointing out, when you look at where that wind is, and then you look at where it's raining, it's behind the rain. That's not where a tornado would form. So I've got a feeling that we're not going to have a reissuance, but I'm not going to feel comfortable until I see that red polygon go away. But we are on the backside of this for our viewing area. It's now moving into northeast Arkansas. I don't know how many tornadoes we've had today. It takes surveys. I know we've had at least one because we had that on the air. We had, looking up directly from the bean fields from Scott Hollinger, I mean, he was directly underneath the circulation. You watched it live. I mean, looking straight up, you could see it spinning. But let's just wait another couple of minutes before this disappears, but I think it's going to disappear. But while that's happening, severe thunderstorm warnings continue for Lonoke County into Prairie County. That goes all the way into Monroe County, southern areas of Woodruff County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's look at velocities. I see some wind, but no rotation. Also, thunderstorms in southern Arkansas have severe thunderstorm warnings on them. We've been following this one coming into Grant County, northwestern areas of Cleveland County, and will eventually be moving into Jefferson County, into the Pine Bluff area, strong to perhaps severe thunderstorms for your location. And that will translate to Star City, DeWitt, Stuttgart, and those locations. All right, so one more minute to go, and theoretically, this will disappear. Joel, what do you think?
I think yeah. Hold on, let's look. All right, okay, here we go. This makes a little more sense. We do have a couplet here, south of Newport, south of 67. I'd still consider it somewhat broad, but it makes sense where it's located now here. All right, let's go switch over to radar. It's embedded within a lot of rain, but I see a little bit of a bounded wheat gecko region here south of where it says Highway 67 there. I'm going to pause it, Todd, so you can see it a little clearer.
Are you looking at it from the Memphis radar?
Let's see. I'm not sure which one I'm looking
I
from.
think you're looking at it from Memphis.
No, I think both of them look about the same.
Okay, all right.
So either way, let's look at velocity. All right, yeah, I was looking from the Memphis radar, but Little Rock, it's a little more broad from Little Rock. And then when I switch it over to the Memphis one, yeah. But where, at least looking from the Memphis radar, it makes more sense because it co-locates with this little donut hole, what we call the bounded weak echo region, BWER. Beware is what sometimes people call it, but not to be fancy there. But Todd, yeah, I mean, is that a new scan there? Yeah, it's a new scan. It's a little tighter. There's southeast of Newport, Irwin, Auburn.
It's not, I see there's an enhancement there. It's not put together just yet.
Is it not though? Like, look right here, just along Highway 17. It's still somewhat broad, but it's probably a little bit more so than the last scan.
I think you've got a newer scan than I do.
Maybe. You may get that scan here in just a minute. But again, I'm looking from Memphis. Looking from, all right, yeah, you've got the couplet from Little Rock. Look, Todd, comparing Little Rock, Memphis. Little Rock, Memphis. It's
completely displaced from each other.
They are. Yeah, I think there's some sort of discrepancy there, but something's happening. Something's trying to get going there near Auburn.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Southwest of Emigan.
You're looking at, I was looking at it from the Little Rock radar. You're looking at it from Memphis. That's the Memphis radar there. Because come over to Max 1 and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is from the Memphis radar. This is what Joel's looking at right here on Highway 17. That's from the Memphis radar, and then that's from the Little Rock radar. So that's Little Rock, Memphis. So I'm not convinced we have something, but there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and I guarantee you it's got a tornado tag on it, meaning that it's one of those severe thunderstorm warnings where there could be a tornado that develops.
Did you say it did have a tag on it?
I just said I'm pretty sure it will.
Okay, I'm looking to see if it does.
I would be shocked if it didn't. Does it? In the meantime,
see it.
Did you reboot that thing?
Well, I will say, Todd, I've got it for you on the OBS computer.
Okay.
They can just take it full.
Take OBS full behind me, guys, and let's keep Christopher's mic up because we have video. This is earlier from say the name because it's off screen.
Cameron Evans.
There we go.
And this was on the intersection of Highway 5 and 319, and he was right where that tornado was crossing towards that on Highway 5, and you can see the debris flying through the air right there. And then as he turns his vehicle up, and I think this video is too long, but as in the later part of the video,
look at that debris.
It's just flying everywhere, and there was trees uprooted as he turns on towards Highway 319. But definitely shows, you know, it hit that intersection and all that debris flying, Todd, which, you know, contributed to that debris signature on radar.
Right, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at raindrops and debris that aren't the size that are equal to each other, so we get what's called a dropout, the correlation coefficient. They're not correlating with each other. There's objects of different sizes. There's debris of different sizes. There's raindrops, and so that's the radar seeing the debris in the air, and it's such a useful tool that was implemented with the National Weather Service radars several years ago. Let's go back to the radar because on Max 1, if you can't get that video or that picture from Zach of the tornado too, but this is that's from the Little Rock radar because I just saw some very strong rotation with this, and I'm not comfortable just yet. That's Little Rock, and then look at Memphis from the Memphis radar.
Tightened, yeah, from Memphis for sure.
South of Irwin, coming up Highway 14. There's Newport. There's no tornado warning in effect. There's Amigon towards the east. This to me looks like this is very much aloft, but it may start to try to work its way down and produce a tornado. We'll wait because this is our viewing area, and we're going to wait a little bit and make sure nothing bad happens. So south of Irwin, we're looking at two different radars here, one in Little Rock, one in Memphis. The one in Little Rock might be a little bit closer, but what we're looking at from the Memphis radar is very much aloft, way aloft. And we see definite rotation there. There's no tornado warning in effect, but when we look at it and we switch over to the Little Rock radar, there's a little rotation in that area, but it may not have worked itself down. So we're just gonna have to watch this for just a little bit longer, west of Amigon.
It's gonna be near County Road 36, Remmel, County Road 33, just to name a few roads nearby. County
Right.
Road 120. If that's a tornado trying to form, that's where it is, and is going to approach Amagon or Amagon. Is it Amagon? I guess you're right.
That's what I've always called it.
Yeah, okay. Highway 14, that would eventually take it over. I believe that's Poinsett County from there. Highway 14 runs Newport to Harrisburg.
Okay.
Are we getting any word from the Weather Service what their thoughts are on this? I know it's elevated. I know that, but I mean, we'd be looking high up from Little Rock. I would imagine. All right, the Little Rock. All right, look at the Little Rock one now.
Yep.
You see that?
It's trying to work itself down a little bit. I see it now. So let's go do another little right over County Road 36. Rimmel is the community right there. There's Rimmel. So now we're looking at it from the Little Rock radar, and it's starting to see some sort of motion now in the air. It's east of Highway 67. And until this goes away, I don't want to. Let's go to
new scan. It looks a little more broad, but it takes it farther north toward Highway 14. I've got a track on it, by the way.
All right.
There's no tornado warning on this, but we believe there might be. It's trying to form.
Right.
It looks a little weaker than it did a moment ago, but Johnstown 837, Amagon 840, Estico 844, Grubbs at 848, North Pitts at 854, Chilson 859, Wiener at 901. That's outside of our coverage area. I believe that's Poinsett County, and then Otwell at 912. Todd.
All right, so let's go over to Max 3 because I think we have a picture of the, on Max 3, we have a picture from Zach Hardcastle. This was earlier. We had him on the phone, and this is what he was looking at, was this tornado, and it was a confirmed one along Highway 5 in Lonoke County from Zach, our storm spotter chaser, and you can see the the motion there. It was fully on in the ground, and he said he saw debris. We saw the debris, and he thought he saw a roof being ripped off from a Dollar General store, but that appears not to be the case to the best of our knowledge. It's when you're in these situations, sometimes it's difficult. He saw something flying near it, I guess, is what he saw, but there was debris in the air. Very chaotic in that situation, but that was rapidly intensified, and that was the storm. I'm trying to remember, Joel, was that from the it was fully on in the ground, and he said he saw debris. We saw there was debris in the air. It's very chaotic in that situation, but that was rapidly intensified, and that was the storm. I'm trying to remember, Joel, was that from the storm?
Right on the Pulaski-Faulkner County line, and it crossed into southeast Faulkner County briefly before getting into that northwest corner of Lonoke.
Okay, and again, this is earlier. This is not. And just make sure before we send it back to regular. Okay, yeah, Zach just said, Todd, you're correct. The Dollar General was fine, so that's some good news there. The scan out of Memphis it is showing that maybe not, that this is trying to work its way down. Does the Little Rock radar show anything
It looks
different?
weaker than Memphis. Memphis
pretty much aloft.
So
and,
this, yeah.
Okay, I feel better.
I feel better, yeah.
Yeah, about that storm it is severe. I mean, it can still do damage, but as far as any tornado, and of course, KARK-4 News at 10. We'll have the information, of course, tomorrow morning. Pat and Juliana will be here bright and early, 4 o'clock in the morning. with situation. It overperformed from what we thought. We thought mainly northern Arkansas. It was central Arkansas. So that's why we're always watching this for you. And thank you for making
This was severe weather coverage from the Arkansas Storm Team.